Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go! Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Everybody bring it in.
Hello and welcome to the 5th annual UCEI University of California Esports Initiative Invitational presented by Xfinity. I'm Mikey, this is my co-caster Owen, and UCEI is an esports tournament that started off in COVID, trying to unify the esports community within the UC campuses, but it's quickly grown to be one of the most largest lands that everybody looks forward to.
Yeah, so we're going to be going over the tournament structure. This weekend last weekend we saw League of Legends, and that was UCI, UCSB, Berkeley, and Santa Cruz, I believe, qualifying for LAN in that tournament. Oh, UCLA, excuse me. And then this week we're going to be watching the Overwatch 2 qualifiers. So that will be a double elimination format. All the teams have been seeded based on their competitive ranks from last season. Yeah, we're panning over to the bracket now. So our first round matchups are here on the screen. It's double elimination, so any teams that lose today will have another chance tomorrow in tomorrow's qualifying matches to make it to LAN. So each of the online qualifiers is going to be a best-of-5 series. The finals will be best-of-7 at LAN. And the starting map for each match will be selected by the higher-seeded team. So in our first match, Irvine versus Riverside, Irvine will choose from the set of control maps available. And then the winning team, or the losing team from each of each map will choose the next map from a different map type.
Yeah, and let's start talking about the teams here. So UCI, definitely the favorite to win this tournament. UCI has won every UCEI for Overwatch all 4 consecutive years, and they're looking to win a 5th. They are the first seed in this tournament. All their players, except one of their supports, are returning. So they're definitely going to be seen throughout this entire tournament as the Titans. And UC Riverside is definitely going to be the underdog here. But what do you think about them?
Yeah, UC Riverside is a heavy underdog here. They are the 8th seed in this tournament. They did have a top 60 finish in the recent collegiate tournament, the Activision Blizzard collegiate tournament. And they also recently placed first in the GC Beach Retro Wave 2024 tournament. They've got mostly an experienced roster with 2 new players, Avalsander and Spectrix, who we'll have to look out for. And the manager has told us that Hopper, the UCR tank, has an ongoing rivalry with every other UC tank player, which may or may not be one-sided. So we'll have to look out for Hopper.
Yeah, so we know the first map's going to be Control. So let's talk about, what do you think, as an Academy player, what do you think the general meta is in the current patch on the various Control maps?
So I believe we're going to Ilios for our first map, so it'll be a little bit of a toss-up because each sub-map of Ilios can have very different compositions. I expect we might see some Monkey or Diva played out on Well. A lot of teams like that, Monkey or Diva. UCI definitely, they enjoy playing a lot of Orisa and some Queen, so we'll see, especially on Ruins, expect Orisas from both teams. A lot of Brig Juno in the back line. You know, maybe an Ana. We'll see Ana Brig with some dive comps on Lighthouse, but really I think Ilios has very, very diverse team compositions throughout the different sub-maps.
Yeah, definitely a toss-up on the map, and let's head straight into our first map here, Lighthouse. Take a look at the composition, it's Symmetra teleporting all of UCR's team out, switching back to the Genji. What do we think about these? First look.
Yeah, UCI is opting for actually a very dive-heavy comp with Romani in on tank, and UCR playing for a much more brawl-oriented composition with Hopper on the Queen. So we've got Cyber here setting up on the high ground, just trying to poke out UCI, building that ult charge. Oh, and Romani going with aggressive dive. KHD hitting a big nade onto the UCR backline. UCR is forced to back out, and UCI is taking a lot of map control. No picks yet, but just this map control will allow them to cap point. Hero's going in on the backline here, not able to find anything, finding multiple low targets, trying to finish off the Juno. Romani will do it for him. And then Psy cleaning up Hopper. Yeah, this is a very clean first fight for UCI, although they are just now getting control of the point.
Yeah, we see UCI's team composition, especially geared towards the damage and tanks, are a lot more geared towards the dive sort of play style, whereas UCR's composition of Junker Queen, Ashe, and Genji, sort of a more brawly, pokey style, especially with that Ashe and Junker Queen.
And yeah, UCR just trying to take this high ground, but Romani has a great angle here, just waiting for UCR to walk through and easily finds Watermelon Dog there on the Juno. KHT actually drops the nano onto Romani, and Avalsander trades out Mashiro, so this is actually getting to be a scrappy fight on point, but yeah, with that nano boost, Romani's just putting out too much damage on point. for UCR to do anything.
Yeah, as we look at the ultimate economy here, UCI miles ahead of UCR here, whereas we see even a tank switch up, Hopper switching on to the Winston. The highest ultimate percentage we see is on the Ashen at 80%, whereas UCI already has 3 ultimates online, already looking to get a 4th and 5th.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that UCI backline is just so inaccessible for UCR. They're playing on that far high ground. Okay, and Psy going with an aggressive duplicate here. Both monkeys going in at the same time. That's very hard to deal with. Romani's able to find Watermelon Dog again first off. Yeah, Romani doing work with the Primal. Psy also doing work with the Primal at the same time.
Pushing all the way towards their spawn here. 75, almost 65, almost 70% here on the first point. Remember, this is a best of 3 here on Control. But right now, it's not looking too good for UCI.
Yeah, UCR's probably looking to play off their Bob here from Cyber. Probably looking to get that on point, but it's going to be tough even just getting that angle on the point because Romani is holding so far up. Mashiro goes in very aggressive with a stick onto Cyber. That Bob is out of the equation now. This should be fairly easy clean for UCI, but it looks like a little bit of an overextend, and Hopper's able to trade out Romani.
Thank you for the assistance.
Also down to Genji here. It's actually, the fight's actually been swung towards UCR's favor. All the way at 97%. Gonna hit overtime, but UCR is almost definitely gonna get this capture here.
Otters, though, popping an aggressive rally, trying to turn this. UCI not wanting to give up any percentage. Cyber throws in the Bob on point. Romani jumps in. It's going to be a very aggressive brawl on point.
5v5 here. UCR does take the point. Finally starting to get some percentage up there.
And they take that with no support ult to use, which is very good for, you know, Brig Bash. Well, Brig Rally Bash is a very good counter to Romani's engages, so Romani will have a hard time getting a pick on the back line this
They
fight.
always have that massively impactful Juno ult. Probably one of the most top 2 impactful support ults in the game right now.
Alvison here going with a Blade with Silver Surfer's Rally is able to find Otters. The support line for UCI is taken out. Yeah, it looks like UCI will have to back up here. Romani running back to his supports. UCR has actually turned this map around somewhat. They're in a very good spot. UCI is coming up on a lot of ultimates, but UCR has that orbital ray, which is just devastating when paired with a good dive.
UCI, throughout the first part of this map, has been
Potential
looking
fully realized.
really good here, and they're looking to turn it back towards their favor. Putting the Nano on the Winston, duplicating
Genji.
onto the Genji also here. Break down Ash down and Genji down. Though their own Ana falls, it's now a 3v2.
Yeah, these engages are so quick from UCI. Romani is in before UCR can do anything. Doesn't even have to use the Primal, just with the Nano, it's enough damage.
Desperate orbital ray here, looking for that last fight. All or nothing here for UCR.
Recall force from Mashiro. You know, UCR definitely has a shot here. Alvison is able to find a pick onto the Tracer.
And the Echo
And UCR somehow turns that fight. Great orbital ray from Watermelon Dog.
from 99-0 all the way to 99-70. UCR looking to stall out, looking to put this part of the map into one fight territory.
Yeah, taking a look at the ultimates here. UCI is, I mean, both teams coming up on rally, but UCR is actually in a much better spot here. Bob coming online soon, Blade coming on soon. So UCI looking to go aggressive here before those ultimates can get built up.
Most definitely both teams we see poking on the high ground.
Romani engaging here onto Lighthouse, forcing Cyber down onto point. Cyber's very vulnerable here, but Bob is almost up.
Rally popped by UCI. Looks like the biggest fight is happening. All or nothing here for both teams.
Huge nade for KHD, finds Hopper. UCI is able to clean that up. Bob is doing work on point though. Mashiro barely able to touch. Rally pop from Silver Surfer. It's going to be hard for UCI to get on point here. Yeah, Otters
Supports are off
falls.
the point. UCI only has their Winston and Tracer on the point, and their Ana and Brig breaks down. Ana being focused by the Blade, gets massive slept here.
Huge sleep from KHD. But
And the Nano comes out onto the Winston.
Alvison is still able to find KHD even after that great sleep. Romani just trying to hang on here for his Primal.
Trying to build it up with the Nano, but goes
But Silver
down.
Surfer finds him.
Switching on to desperate contest picks here onto the Lucio and Venture, but there's
But-
no contest, and UCR takes the first map.
crazy.
What an upset.
I mean, I don't think anyone expect UCR to take even a round off of UCI, so the first round in this series is ridiculous.
Going towards the underdog in the beginning for the first full minute at least, it did not
Ready
look
for
close,
battle.
but they came back, clawed back from nothing, all the way from 99-0.
Think you can keep up?
Yeah, no, UCI, I think they initially had a huge ult advantage there, but once UCR's ultimates started coming online, they just weren't able to really deal with them. So yeah, it looks like here UCI is going to be going over to a Queen comp, Romani on Queen. Very fast-paced comp with the Lucio Juno, lots of speed there, and yeah, UCR is going to match that. Romani's really known for his Queen, so we can expect a great performance here from him.
UCR, however, opting for the Widowmaker. Definitely one of the riskiest, but also most rewarding character picks for each team composition here. Let's see what UCR can do with this Widow pick.
Sai's able to find early pick. Yeah, both the support line just instantly wiped for UCR.
The Widowmaker just not making enough, not able to get the sightlines to make enough of an impact here in the team fight.
UCI making a smart decision there to take their fights in a very close space, you know, outside of Widow sightlines. So yeah, a very clean first fight, you know, such a fast fight. Ultimates are barely built up, and yeah, Albacenter will swap over to the Genji.
Yeah, we can see a lot of that close quarters playstyle coming out in team compositions from the Lucio and Juno. So much speed to close the distance between UCR and UCI.
UCI going with aggressive engage here, speedring and shout from Romani. Yeah, they're able to find Silver Surfer, not able to disengage, but Otter's able to trade out Otters, falling himself though to Romani. Yeah, UCI's aggression is just great here. They're going very fast-paced. You know, that's why you run Juno, Lucio, Queen, right? You can shout, you have speed boost from Lucio, and you have Juno speed ring. It's just so hard to escape that.
There's just so much ability to close the distance between the teams. We see UCR here swapping from the Genji onto the Echo here. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, it looks like UCI will beat UCR. Romani will beat Hopper to that Queen ult, which is huge here. Yeah, huge axe onto the UCR backline.
Immediately focusing the Juno, and all the supports are low. We can see them utilizing that close quarters ability once again just to brawl out with UCR, able to win every fight so decisively.
Yeah, just so much damage onto that backline from Romani. That the axe, you know, the bleed damage just makes kills so easy to finish, even friggin' Spire up.
We can see the mirrored. Both teams have Queen and Tracer, but what we can see is most impactful is the Orbital Ray, which is used right here. Juno beating the Juno of UCI beating UCR on the ultimate economy here, able to utilize the Orbital Ray before UCR even has a chance to respond.
Yeah, UCI is looking a lot more comfortable here on the Queen comp than on Dive from last map. And yeah, Albacenter has swapped over to the Echo. Let's see if he's able to do this in the sky. Pulse goes in from Mashro, isn't able to find anything, but UCI dropping all of their ults almost. Yeah, everything they have just to clean this up. Sai finds one with the blade.
Let's see if they can touch one person left of UCR.
Yeah, just clean up on point now.
1v5?
UCR not able to get the flip there. Goes for a desperate pulse bomb. Not able to find anything.
That map much more decisive than the last, from 99-100 to 100-0.
Yeah, very curious what UCI will try on Well here, because they seemed very shaky on Monkey, but I know a lot of teams really like to run Monkey on Well. So we'll have to see if they opt for Brawl or Dive here.
Yeah, it seems like when UCI is comfortable with their comp, they can just absolutely roll. But if they're not, then the game becomes so much closer.
Is that not a safety hazard?
Yeah, they're playing, you know, with that Lucio Juno, they're just all looking to get, you know, into the back line, kind of all-inning UCR's back line, which is not the case with their Monkey comps. So they definitely look a lot more comfortable in these all-in type comps.
Most definitely in UCR though, both teams opting for the Junker Queen.
Yeah, very similar comps, but Cyber on the Ashe here again. We saw him do a lot of work with his Bob on Lighthouse. I'm curious to see how this will play out. Looks like Cyber will be taking space in this cage area, forcing Romani out. Romani playing a little bit split from his team. Playing Bring Around the Rosie here. Hopper able to hit a nice knife. Romani falling low, but Sai and Mashiro, the DPS on B-side, just able to decimate UCR while they focus all their attention on Romani.
So much. It feels like UCR's composition is sort of, it's geared in the same way towards UCI, like you said, as an all-in, but sort of what's different is their Ashe pick. Do you think they're not bad pick,
I'll
but
take a redo.
different pick is benefiting them here?
I think UCI is just a little bit too mobile for that Ashe to get any value. You know, wherever they see Ashe, they can close that distance instantly. Like here, they go
Like we
so
saw.
fast onto the Ashe wherever she tries to play.
Immediately taken down. No space available for the Ashe to get these sightlines.
And Sai, he's going very deep here, but able to get those dash resets. He's not scared of UCR.
Yeah, like you said, Ashe here in this composition can make use of all the speed that's provided by the Juno, the Lucio, and the Junker Queen Shout.
Yeah, she's just getting chased down. Cyber getting chased down on the Ashe. It's very difficult to play. You can see Cyber only has 48% ult charge here. You know, the lowest in the match, just because he's getting run down. By
Just can't get any of the sightlines that he's opting for here. He can't get onto any of the high ground.
yeah, UCI or UCR just looking for an engage here, but they have no openings. Yeah,
Opting for the orbital ray.
H2 with big orbital ray there. You know, Hopper is out front. He just can't do anything.
The fight
No
is
time to
over
react.
from there at 65, 66, getting close to one fight territory here for UCI. UCI has 4 ultimates here, and UCR is coming up on 3. This is going to be definitely the biggest fight for the game.
Yeah, UCR swapping over to the Cassidy. Pulse out from Usher, doesn't find anything. UCR is going to be looking for an orbital ray engage here. That's all they have up on UCR. But Sai going with an aggressive blade onto the Juno, finds Watermelon Dog.
Orbital
He's
ray
able to get
pops.
the orbital off, but Sai just doing too much work with this blade. Hopper off the map somehow.
And that's the map.
Stella.
Yeah, very shaky start from UCI on Lighthouse, but after that just dominates. And yeah, easy cleanup for UCI there. And a dominant first map.
Like you said, that when UCI was put onto a composition that they necessarily weren't completely comfortable with on that monkey, it was definitely a lot closer, 99-100. But on the next 2 maps, when they were put on the Junker Queen on sort of that all-in composition with triple speed abilities, they were so comfortable they were able to completely dominate from there.
Yeah, from that, it really looks like UCI likes to dictate the pace of fights, the pace of maps. And they're definitely less able to do that on the monkey composition. You know, with that Ana, they're just waiting for KHD to throw a nade in. And while KHD was definitely hitting some big nades, you know, they just don't have a consistent enough engage there in order to get value, especially once UCR had flipped. The recontest was very difficult for UCI.
Yeah, and what we saw from UCR, there wasn't nearly as much change in play style from the first map, which they almost won, to the last 2 where they got almost dominated there. They always opted for the Genji Ashe or Genji hit scan that wasn't necessarily as mobile as UCI's 2 DPS picks. Do you think that hindered them throughout the rest of the game? Because it almost worked the first time, but the next time, so they just got dominated.
Yeah, and those really close quarters maps, they just couldn't get any value on the hit scan characters. They tried putting Albasander on Ashe, Echo, Cassidy, you know, just could not get any value. So I would not be surprised to see UCR taking UCI to maybe Gibraltar something with a lot of space where hit scan can get some value, or even an Echo pick just to get Abelsander some space to work with.
Maybe even a Widow map like Junkertown or Blizzard World, just because Widow games where the hit scans sort of completely dictate the pace of every fight, like whether or not you win the Widow duel, was definitely a lot more, I'm not going to say reliable, but it would most definitely fit the playstyle of UCR better.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, UCI is definitely, though, they're going to have to be a little bit cautious because they certainly did not expect to drop any rounds in this matchup.
Yeah.
UCR is a heavy underdog. So, you know, they're going to have to figure out, you know, what to do against UCR's dive comp.
Yeah, that just shows the adaptations that they were able to make on the fly. In the first round, they weren't, like you said, they weren't expecting really much of any sort of response from UCR, but they were able to take the map, and so they really focused and locked in on not underestimating their opponents, adapting, making all the changes that they knew they had to make to win the maps. And it depends. Their performance on the rest of the series depends pretty much just on that. Can they adapt to what UCR is doing? Can they use what they know they can do to win every fight?
Yeah, since UCR is definitely the heavy underdog here, I would not be surprised if they've got some weird map picks up their sleeve, you know, try and throw off UCI. UCI will definitely have, you know, a lot of time spent scrimming these more meta composition-oriented maps, you know, especially I bet a lot of push with the Orisa and Queen comps. That's probably, you know, what they're really used to. So I'd be very surprised if UCR took us somewhere like that.
Yeah, I think UCR definitely needs to put UCI in a position where they're surprised, where they haven't experienced or they haven't drilled what they need to be doing to win the map. Like, what if we see a Clash map here? That'd be kind of crazy because there's no way any team is scrimmed that. But maybe UCR knows that. Maybe UCR knows that UCI is the favorite here completely, and they need to surprise them.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, even, you know, regardless of how the rest of this series goes, UCR's just kind of showed the rest of the teams in the tournament, you know, that they're not just an easy win. So especially if they are knocked out into that lower bracket, they're still a contender for LAN, I would say.
Teams definitely can't underestimate any of the other UC teams here. Even in the lower bracket, like we said, 2 wins is the magic number. Once you've won 2 games, you are going to LAN. And so even in the lower bracket against lower seeded teams, all these UC's teams are so close together regardless of the average rank. Any team, it's really anyone's game.
Yeah. And it looks like we're actually going to be heading over to Gibraltar. So that's, you know, a very expected pick for UCR. I bet they're going to be running, you know, that monkey on a brig composition. And then, you know, a lot of teams really like to run Ash Tracer. Tracer more to contest the cart. And, you know, Ash just to control the high ground with supports.
So that's a no.
Okay, looks like Rhino has been subbed in for Romani here onto the monkey, which is very interesting. Yeah, maybe, you know, monkey is not Romani's best, but on Ilios, you know, 2 queen maps, 1 monkey map, they'll put in Romani. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, now we see, once again, we see the difference in playstyle from UCI and UCR. UCI, instead of opting for like the more general popular composition with the Ash Tracer, they're opting for an Echo Tracer. A lot more all-in compared to UCR's comp. Just definitely more conventional.
UCR probably looking for an early TP, and yeah, Albasander swapping over to the Tracer. Looks like Cyber's trying to get some high ground control here. Watermelon throws in a nade. Cyber's able to find Psy. Albasander finding Otters.
Trades on both sides despite still anyone's match, but Albasander goes down to KHD.
Yeah, KHD, you know, surprisingly able to survive there without his brig to back him up. And, you know, very shaky fight. You know, both sides are down players, but UCR has a, you know, big spawn advantage here. So they'll be able to maintain high ground control with Cyber just pressuring opposite high ground.
Hopper gets extremely low, but isn't able to be capitalized upon. And you see the dive come out onto the bridge, getting knocked off high ground. Anna goes down, Tracer goes down. That's a trade.
Yeah, Rhino able to find 2 there. A great dive and a great nade. Well, great counter nade actually coming from Watermelon Dog, but still not enough to fend off Rhino.
You're a real
Unable to get payload through the underpass there.
Cyber's still having a little bit of a hard time getting angles so far. We'll see what he tries here. Coaching up to high ground, trying to pressure off this UCI support line. Hopper jumps up. His, you know, nade misses from Watermelon Dog, and yet UCR is not able to find anything in the sky. Actually, UCR rotating up to high ground. Both supports coming to high ground, and Hopper really forcing all of UCI down into server and off high ground.
Comes online, it's used and it's missed, and let's take a look at the ult economy of the rest of the players here. Hopper almost has that primal rage, but UCI almost have every ultimate here.
And now Cyber solidly has high ground control here. Oh, Nano coming in onto Rhino. Great sleep from Watermelon. You know, negating most of that Nano's effect, but Rhino's still able to make space, helping him get that kill onto Watermelon Dog.
Duplicate being used here, both Razors and Riley being used. UCI really want to win this fight. Full spawn from the Duplicate onto Tracer.
Rhino just finding so much value there, even after being slept in as Nano, still able to find 3 in that fight.
And UCI unable to get the first point there. A minute 30 left here to secure that first point, get some extra time going into the second checkpoint.
Hopper's probably looking for a good Nano engage here. Down the primal rage, but with Nano is arguably even better. Albasander just looking to take cart, force UCI to make a move onto cart. Hopper jumps in and Rhino counter dives immediately, just waiting for that.
Comes out, stun onto Rhino, utilizes primal rage, slept but woken up. Fight for the first point and a knock
Rhino
off
with
the
a
edge.
great juggle there. Yeah, the counter dive is just too quick from Rhino. I think that's what UCI was lacking a little bit last map on their dive comp. You know, the counter dive was just not there. But now Rhino's really just able to take advantage. The second Hopper goes in, Watermelon doesn't even have time to get the nano off before Rhino's in the back line.
And he knocked him right off the map. And now UCR coming up on 3, almost 4 big ultimates here.
Epicenter with the pulse isn't able to find anything. Falls very low. Musher tries to chase it down, but isn't able to find it.
Bob comes out. Where is it? On the point, I think.
Nano onto Hopper, but jumps onto Sai. Sai just able to fly away.
Mashiro finding both supports. Backline gone for UCR, even though they had 3 big ultimates used there. And UCI didn't have any besides Pulse Bomb. They were able to turn the fight around.
Yeah, UCI just doing a great job of kiting that Nano Monkey. Hopper's still looking to get a touch here. Primal almost online. He'll be able to fight on point for a while with that.
5 seconds here. Nano online onto the Winston. Use Primal Rage to contest the point here, but the backline under this underpass here.
So vulnerable there, but Rhino does not commit actually. Even though Primal is just a few percentage points away. UCR actually in a great position here somehow. But that Primal is about to come out from Rhino.
Sai goes down, and Raid goes down. This looks like the first point hold here. Duplicate comes out, Primal Rage comes out. Rally's almost online, and there's only Tracer left remaining.
Great, quick little reset from UCI there, just to wait out the Primal Rage, wait out all of UCR's ultimate bank, and just counter with their own. Great call just to hold off on point there for a couple seconds.
And a great hold overall by UCI, able to hold UCR before they even reach the first checkpoint. Now let's see how UCR's defense can respond to this.
Yeah, I'm curious if UCR will flex over to something other than the Ashe. You know, I imagine UCI will probably stay with their same composition. Worked out very well. The Echo was able to apply a lot of pressure. You know, chunking the Monkey, pressuring the back line. Just a lot of range on that character, and a lot more mobility than you get on the Ashe pick.
Yeah, but what we have, I feel like what we haven't seen a lot of from UCR is flexibility in their compositions. They've always opted for the Tracer Ashe, sometimes going to the Widow, sometimes going to the Cassidy one-off, but it's almost always goes back to that Tracer Ashe, Brig, Anna or Juno, and whatever their tank wants to play. And I feel like they need to have their answer here. Can't just be the same thing that they've been running.
Into my web.
Yeah, especially when UCI, you know, goes out with a pick like Echo, a little bit unexpected, and just it kind of decimates UCR. They really need to adapt this half of the map, but you know they're going to be running that same composition, and I imagine you know Sai on the Widow. Oh, okay, yeah, swapping over to the Echo. Okay, Sim first for a TP, and then we'll see what he swaps over to. That'll kind of determine UCI's place after this map. Yeah, onto the Echo, so a little bit more aggressive than they would be with the Widow.
Will this be the same thing we saw on the last round?
Hopper's put to sleep early and naded, falls to 1 HP, and yeah, that's an easy kill for UCR. UCI, great sleep from KHD.
Immediately so much space being taken by UCI here, pushing UCR completely off the high ground. They're going to get full control of the underpass, and they're going to get dangerously close to winning this map.
UCI will be able to push past the most difficult part of this map for free. No contest from UCR. UCR just going to have to try and regroup here, look for an unoptimal engage past sort of this deadly area just coming from the high ground.
So much space here held by UCI. There is no point that they are able to engage here optimally. And there's no touch. No touch comes out from UCR.
They're just forced too far back, you know. Rhino on the Monkey creates so much space, and then Sai on the Echo is just able to, you know, hold space but then fall back so quickly. Yeah, play the game here from Mashiro. Great tracking onto the Ashe. Yeah, Cyber's having.
This is going to be where both supports fall.
Oh yeah, the pulse bomb clipping Watermelon Dog as well.
In this fight, UCR utilized 3 ultimates fighting, and UCI only used 1, but they were still able to isolate the backline and completely win the fight from there.
Yeah, it's hard just to pick out standout players from UCI because everyone is playing very well. You know, Rhino, especially on the Monkey there, making a lot of impactful plays, instant counter dives very fast, and Sai on the Echo just able to help out so quickly, playing very flexibly, moving from front line to back line. And then, yeah, we just saw Mashiro able to have so much impact in UCR's back line.
Yeah, it feels like the team's chemistry with each other and their compositions was just so much stronger with UCI. UCI it looked like they felt so much more comfortable with their play style compared to UCR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, UCR, as you said, they really just need to find some kind of adaptation here because the Ashe Tracer is just not cutting it for them. You know, I'm at the support backline will probably stay the same, you know, either Honor Brig or Juno Brig, depending on the map, but they either need to figure out a different way for their Ashe to play, you know, just not getting really any space on the map to play. Those DPS and tank just running Ashe down.
Yeah, and we saw on Ilios, we saw UCR opting for the Widowmaker, and I wonder if we'll see in this last final map a Widowmaker map picked here for UCR. I think that, once again, that we talked about before, Widowmaker dictates the pace of the entire game for both teams, and if UCR is able to win the Widow duel consistently, they'll see a much closer game than we've seen these past 2 maps.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're saying earlier, definitely would not be surprised by a Blizzard World, something where, you know, Monkey isn't necessarily, you know, a gimme pick, but Widow is definitely viable. Because, yeah, especially, you know, from the first map, Romani Monkey did not seem super solid for UCI, but Rhino's Monkey is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I doubt UCR is going to want to try and fight that again.
Mm-hmm. There's UCI's team compositions and picks have just been so oppressive, and UCR definitely should opt for a map where they can have a lot less close quarters, a lot less divey, a lot more pokey, a lot more pick heavy.
Yeah, I think it's tough for UCR. You know, they got, you know, swept almost on very fast-paced brawl comps, swept on dive comp. And while they take us actually to Throne of Anubis, a flash map.
UCR does choose to pick something weird, something unexpected, and we see that in both teams. We see that in UCR's pick, and we see that in UCI's team composition. Although I don't know if we'll actually go with it.
Yeah, I'm guessing, you know, UCI is going to want to match this queen composition. You know, Romani's just known for his queen. And I don't, you know, despite his rivalry, I don't know if Hopper's able to compete. Hovering the Malga for a second, but yeah, they swap over to a queen venture comp, actually. And Cyber's still on the Ashe. Curious how they're going to try and get Cyber map space here to play.
Yeah, 2 main differences here between the comps. Venture instead of the Tracer, and a Juno instead of the Ana here for UCR on this much more brawly map here of Throne of Anubis. The first flash map we'll probably ever see.
Moshir is able to take so much space on this venture, setting up a perfect engage for UCI, and that's just an instant fight win. Alexander is able to find KHD in the back line, but it does not matter. That's going to be first point for UCI.
Flash as a game mode is known to have extreme snowball potential here, so we'll see if UCI can take this fight win and snowball it to the rest of the map.
Yeah, it looks like Moshir is going to go around, maybe try and set up for a similar kind of engage, you know, just find where Cyber's playing. You can get UCI to collapse on that point, you know. Because Venture can either get in or get out very well, you know, you can't necessarily do both, but when you're engaging this hard, Venture is a great pick for that.
Yeah, we see here Cyber doing his best to keep his distance from the rest of the team. Knows if he goes down, and he did, that the fight and the pace of the game is completely in UCI's hands.
Yeah. Even trades for UCI and UCR. Spectric's able to find 2 actually, but Romani finding 3 of his own, make it 4. Spectrix was able to find the initial pick onto Otters, but looks like UCI was already in position by the time that happened. Cyber felt, yep, Cyber swapping over the cast, just getting no value on Ashe again. And yeah, it looks like, you know, you see the difference in the team comp, right? Lucio Juno versus Brig Juno. UCI just wants to play so much more aggressive. And that's really hurting UCR. They're not able to fend off those aggressive attacks.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the ultimate economy here for UCI. UCI coming up on 2 to 3 to 4 big ultimates here, using that rampage and winning the fight completely.
Yeah, before, you know, anything can even happen, before you can even track the ults, Musher is in the back line setting up another engage for UCI.
And UCI is coming up on 3 more extremely impactful ultimates, namely the Genji Blade and the Juno Orbital Ray here, while UCR doesn't have one to respond besides Genji.
Shout in from Hopper, you know, not able to find anything. The UCR backline falling very low. Orbital Ray coming out from UCI. Blade popping Psy, kind of a zoning blade. But Hopper falls, yep, Psy able to find Spectrix on the Juno, and that's going to be, it looks like a 5-0 on Flash. Very uncommon.
that's the map. Probably one of the fastest maps we'll see today.
Yeah, insanely quick there. You know, you rarely see a 5-0, even on the heaviest snowballs, you know, because you have so much time to recontest there. You know, attacking teams get up to at most 4-0 before the defenders can respond, but just the ultimate economy was too strong there for UCI.
So much space, so little. They weren't able to. UCR here wasn't able to make the adaptations that they had to make. You saw the Ash switch onto the Cassidy, but that was so late into the round, and the ultimate economy had been so snowballed from there that there just wasn't anything that could be adapted to.
Yeah, UCI is just so confident on this team comp. You know, they go so fast. Even, you know, we saw it with the Genji Tracer, but now the Venture Genji. The Venture is, you know, an even more aggressive pick, you know. The setup is so much more, you know, once Venture commits, you can't really get out. So they're confident that they're going to win those brawls, and they just go for them.
And they're just able to snowball all their ultimates, cycling so far ahead of the pace of UCR, who can't even get the space for their Ash to work.
So yeah, it's Irvine on to the next round, which will be played out tomorrow. And Riverside knocked down to the lower bracket. Still got a chance in this tournament, but they'll have a hard match ahead of them likely.
And
So
now we're going to, soon after, we're going to see the matchup between UC Davis and UCLA. How do you think that game's going to go?
Yeah, so that's our, I believe, our 4th and 5th seeds. So, you know, in theory, the most even match in this first round. I think it's kind of a toss-up. You know, I know UCLA has a very strong team this year. They definitely feel a lot more confident than they did last year. But Davis also very strong. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of a toss-up there, really. I think we can see a lot of variety of maps. I know UCLA, you know, they really like their Ursa, their Queen comps, things like that, but they can also flex over to dive very, very well.
Yeah, we saw that with the substitute from Romani to Rhino. But we'll have to see how the match plays out. We'll catch you after the break.
Let's say you're deep in a show, or a game, or the game, on a train, at home, at work. Okay, maybe not at work. Point is, at Xfinity, we're constantly engineering new ways to get the entertainment you love to you faster and easier than ever. That's what I do. Is that Love Island?
I got it down!
Welcome back, everyone, to the UCEI tournament presented by Xfinity. Coming off just after a 3-0 finish between UCI and UC Riverside. Now we're moving on to our next game between Davis and UCLA. Excited to see any crazy performances, any cool pop-offs. Yep.
Yeah, while we were gone, 2 quick 3-0s in the first round. UCSC and UCSD both moving on. Very quick matches. We're hoping, this is the closest seeded match, Davis and UCLA, so we're hoping for a good match here. Davis is 4th seed in this tournament. A lot of new players, actually, or, Blue Fire and Froggy, both returning for Davis, but looks like everyone else on their roster either coming up from Academy or benched on the main team. So a lot of new talent here. Curious to see. Wannabe is definitely a player to look out for on the DPS. Very impactful player. Makes a lot of clutch plays.
Yep.
And, so Zevs, their tank player, brought up from Academy team, so curious to see how he does in his first official games, actually, this year. So they made it to the LAN last year for UCEI. They're looking to punch another ticket to LAN this year. And they have, a winning record against Berkeley and Santa Cruz this year, so they are the self-proclaimed best team in Northern California.
Right, and UCLA, the 5th seed in the tournament, majority of the players are returning. 4 of them are currently on the roster, and the other 3 just came up from the academy. UCLA did have a top 31 finish in the Activision Blizzard Collegiate tournament, and they're going to play the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup in the LAN in Sacramento.
Looks like we're already on our first map. This is Lijiang Tower. I believe Davis's pick, as they were the higher seeded team here.
Capture the objective.
Both teams opting for a very similar team comp here. And and so you see Davis actually on this cast comp versus UCLA's Ash comp.
That's better.
Looks like we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty with the podcast here. So UCLA able to find 2 easy picks onto Isaac Pants and Wannabe. The far pick is actually very unconventional from UCLA. But they've been playing this a lot on Lijiang. They've really liked it. Consta's been able to get a lot of value on the Pharah, and teams have had a lot of difficulty adjusting. Davis is a very odd Moira pick here. You don't see a lot of Moira, especially at this level. We'll see how it works out for them.
We also have Wannabe switching to the Ash, maybe trying to counter Consta's Pharah. Look like Consta just ripped apart the first fight extremely fast. We have actually aggressive Moira play by Isaac.
I guess that's the advantage, Isaac can really get into the back line. Lime using a lot of his utility here, holding point strong. Davis is not able to push through. Zevs hits a nice spear, Lime falling low, but neither Arissa's really able to go in. Xerxes drops the speed ring, Consta falling low, but just nothing. UC Davis not able to find any picks here, not able to secure any kills, having to back out, recharge their resources.
We have a strong hold by UCLA here. Ash does drop pretty low, but he's able to survive. Judo does come out on the side of UCLA. Looking to see if they can push their advantage here.
Davis with their own, they're able to kite that and then use their own orbital ray. A lot of ultimates coming out from both sides. Wannabe finds Lime, but Courier trading out onto Moonglow. Consta, though, is trying to just hold down this point while Davis walks through the rest of the team, dropping just more ultimates than UCLA has available.
Yeah, looks like Davis just walks in.
Yeah, definitely a costly team fight for them.
All the ults besides the barrage being used there.
And both support ults out from Davis. UCLA will have Rally ready with Barrage, so we'll see if Consta will try to make a play with that Barrage.
Davis does have the Orisa ult. Wannabe
Great spear from Lime, finding Wannabe out. Courier able to finish that off. And UCLA instantly collapsing onto point, forcing Zevs back.
Committing onto the Orisa here.
Barrage falls low in the Barrage, but is able to finish off Zevs with the help of Lime. Courier is traded out, but UCLA retains point control here. And they're able to save Rally, which is really great for them, but Wannabe is able to actually find Consta before the fight really kicks off. This is last fight territory for UCLA, but that pick onto Consta is huge. Early Rally from Tropic there, though, trying to counter the Bob. Yeah, Courier.
2 picks.
2 huge picks with the help of that Rally. Davis is able to flip, but I doubt they'll be able to hold on. Yeah, Isaac falling low. Khan's able to finish that off after he swapped over to the Genji. Yeah, just cleanup now for UCLA, preventing Zevs from getting the touch here. Yeah.
Fire does try to commit with the blade, but is ultimately shut down. The
Last
2v5 is almost unwinnable in that situation.
Yeah, very dominant stuff from UCLA. But, you know.
Yeah, it seems like it was pretty even for the first 50%, but after they traded, they had a massive fight with all the ults being used. After that, the scrappiness, LA was able to come out on top. And just with raw picks, winning the numbers game, 4v5, 3v5, is able to take out everyone on the point, getting the victory, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like...
Oh yeah, the...
Oh, we have a little bit of a technical issue here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective. Dusting off.
Yep, so we're moving on to Garden now. Both teams, yeah. Sorry, bit of a technical issue. Not getting the live broadcast here.
Right.
Target stuck. The objective is now.
Oh, all
Okay,
right.
perfect. Okay, we are back. Looks like UCLA is able to get an early control of point here. Wannabe is actually swapped over to the Echo for much more mobile comp. Yeah, it looks like it's not working out so far. Davis does not have the map control they'd like. Yeah, UCLA is able to push up after they get point and clean all these kills up.
It seems like Courier's long range, just like poking, is just any fight that lasts too long just goes in favor of UCLA.
Yeah. UCLA's front line is able to make tons of space for Courier to play with, and Courier's just definitely been able to capitalize off of that.
Lime does, also on UCLA side, Lime has 80% ult compared to UCD's, just 45%, so might be an aggressive Orisa play coming out soon.
Yeah, Xerxes actually hitting an early orbital, getting an early orbital right here before Moonglow. We'll see if that comes out. Yeah, drops that before Moonglow is able to counter. Constant going very aggressive with that orbital rate, able to find Wannabe. Zev's falling low, yeah. The orbital rate difference there is too strong. That does mean that Davis will have an advantage going into this fight. You know, as you say, still cleaning up the kills, but they will have both support ultimates online.
A stagger. Constance is able to stagger the Moira, so delaying the push.
Great stagger, yeah. With that stagger, this could be last fight territory actually for this map. Courier coming up on the Bob, you know, usually having everything except for that orbital ray. Davis still lacks their DPS ults, you know, not quite at Orisa either. Looks like they're going to try and push not from bridge this time, through a little bit closer quarters. They go, yeah. Davis trying to go aggressive, but Lime just jumps straight into that orbital ray. Counter ulting, finding Moonglow.
Coalescence still hasn't been popped on Davis' side. They still have one support ult.
Just a great counter engage there from UCLA. Davis really tried to go fast with their orbital ray. Lime bats them back, ults them in, and just clean up for UCLA.
Yeah, seems like Davis just got stuck. That Orisa ult really just pulled everyone together. Yeah, now
Blue Fire with a quick touch with Blade Up, but just picked off easily. Bob coming in from Courier. Yep, that's just going to be a quick round 2. And first map win for UCLA.
Yep. It seems like UCLA is just all the long fights that they're able to, all the fights that they try to draw out, Courier is able to just put out too much damage, and any fight that they try to engage, once they won that first fight, they have the ultimate advantage. There's not really much they can do.
Especially that choice of backline, you know, Brig I think provides a lot more utility than a Moira, you know. You can play very defensively with Brig, keep that Inspire permanently up, but at the same time, you get a lot more aggression. You know, Brig I think has a little bit higher burst damage output, especially with Rally Up. So that comp difference, I think, really goes the favor of UCLA.
Yeah, especially just we didn't really see the Coalescence getting much use either. In the last fight, like, it wasn't even popped, so just overall, I think UCLA did have, like, they had a strategic advantage, but they also, maybe their team comp slightly better in this scenario, especially on this map.
They're able to capitalize so much more on the space, you know, with the Ashe versus, like, the Genji, the Echo, everything that UC Davis was running. You know, when Courier is able to just hold space, or hold from very far away, you know, when when the front line is making tons of space. That's just a great position. That's exactly where UCLA wants to be.
Yeah, we might be, if this problem continues, then we might see UC Davis even switching to like a dive heavier comp just to like get rid of that long range, just like area denial at this point. Try to shut down Courier to make space for their own team to push over.
Yeah. You know, if they do run over to... Okay, so we're going to be... Davis is taking us over to Kings Row, which I think is an interesting pick. Likely another Orisa matchup. You know, there's definitely some flexibility for some other tanks, but likely a similar brawly type comp.
Yeah, I could also see Widow coming out here. It's a lot more open on this map. So either side, Davis or LA, might be trying to get that first pick in that engagement, just snowballing off that.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of variables. I think Courier definitely has a strong Ashe on Kings Row. Ashe can be very viable. Take a lot of high ground very easily with Coach Gun. Yeah. So we'll have to see if Davis can sort of take some of that space back, because UCLA's been having very strong map control so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we have no subs coming in, so you know, same exact, likely very similar comps coming out from both teams. I think, well, on the UCLA side, you know, they do have a lot of flexibility within, you know, on all roles actually, you know.
Yeah.
So their core roster is kind of, you know, the same for most maps, and I think that's very similar for Davis as well. So they could really break out kind of any type of compositions, but I do expect we're going to see a lot of Orisa.
Yep.
Bridging.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
LA and Davis, yeah, kind of known to just like duke it out, see if they can just push their advantage slowly and then snowball that advantage even more. Looks like we are live here.
If we'll see another more comp.
Interesting comp by UCLA.
Yeah, I think they're I don't think they're coming out spawn doors here. Yeah, Isaac Pence has moved over to Brig, so a much more typical comp. We'll see how that works out for Davis.
Yeah.
Looks like Wannabe's going to be on the Ashe.
You have a life weaver on LA.
I don't think he's going to be rolling out on life weaver. I think Tropical swap into the Brig at the last second. Yeah. So yeah, Courier starting out on the Widow. Trying to look for an early pick. I wonder if he's going to stay on this pick or swap off to the Ashe afterwards. Yeah.
Davis playing pretty passively.
Davis is very conscious that UCLA is probably going to roll out on the Widow here. They see the Widow playing very far back. So Courier either has to commit to the Widow or swap and spawn. And it looks like he's going to be committing to the Widow. Constant's still on this far pick. Again, very unconventional, but allows him to take a lot of map control. And like, yeah, Davis has already been forced into Hotel, but they do use this opportunity to push around into UCLA, kind of coming behind. Bluefire spotting Courier on the Widow, able to find that easy pick. Very isolated, but Lime doing work in the UC Davis backline. Not able to find anything. Good spear, but no follow-up present. Looks like UCLA is going to have to play sort of slow until Courier comes back.
Yeah, the Orisa is just slowly taking so much space again, causing so many problems. But now it's Davis's turn.
Yep, speedrun was dropped from UCLA there, so UCLA have a hard time engaging here. Although they are able to force Davis off of the point with the help of that Pharah pressure. Yeah, into this small room, Pharah gets just so much value. A lot of spam, a lot of ult charge built. You can see Constant already at 70%. I'm at 90 actually. UCLA's in a very favorable position here. UC Davis, though, coming up on the orbital ray. Likely going to drop that for the last second touch here. Great spear from Zevs to make space onto this point. Orbital dropped.
Davis does get the first pick on Courier. Yeah.
And the ult disadvantage is too deep. Oh, UCLA dropping an ultimate in the 2v5. Looks like a little bit of a misplay. And they're not able to finish it off. Yeah, ult's coming on just a little bit late. UCLA really wanted to hold on to that fight, but the ult disadvantage was a little bit
great
too
rotation
heavy.
by Davis, going through, like, getting pushed back and almost swapping sides with LA. Knowing that they kind of had ult advantage with the Juno, and then just walking forward with it. They're not able to do anything because they're on the point. There's no cover.
Davis in a very good spot now with a huge ultimate advantage. Both UCLA DPS have swapped. Lime trying to force point here. They already have 2 ticks. They don't need much more. Great spear from Lime. Constant able to dash and finish off Bluefire. Rally coming out from Isaac, though, and Terra Surge from Zevs. Zevs finds 2 with that Terra Surge. Great Rally Terra Surge combo. And clean up from Davis.
Yep, and Davis still has both DPS ultimates. UCLA only has the Rally coming up, so it might just be another brawl.
Yeah, you know, UCLA likely look to rally this blade, kind of bash the Genji out and kill. or they might try and get aggressive on there. They drop their speed ring. Bob coming out from Wannabe onto point. No rally yet. Looks like UCLA is going to try and hide from this ultimate just for a little bit. Take a soft reset, wait out that Bob on point. Yeah, rally coming out from Tropic. And Blade, Counterblade coming from Blue Fire, is able to find Consta. Getting pushed back though, falling very low. Courier trading out Isaac, and Lime will find Blue Fire. This fight is turning the way of UCLA.
A scrappy fight in general, but yeah, looks like UCLA is able to bully them out. Now, Davis's tank falls, and Lime is just able to walk forward.
Yeah, not a great first attack from UCLA, but they're hoping to stabilize here now. You know, Davis is not upset with that hold. They drained most of UCLA's time bank there. Although UCLA's kind of flipped the ult economy. They now have a big ult advantage here.
Yeah, it looks like also UCLA kind of opting for more of like a forward hold. Trying to deny as much space as possible here.
Yeah, and especially with the cast now, they're looking to brawl a little bit more. Davis wants to play a little bit more range with the Ashe, but Davis can kind of get up and personal with the Orisa.
Actually might be catching Lime out of position here, but
Quick
able to
orbital
fall back.
From Moonglow, but yeah, just a great disengage from UCLA using that speed ring. They're probably looking to re-engage with their own orbital, right? And yeah, Lime able to find Isaac. Zeb falls to the high noon orbital ray combo is just lethal, especially with a speed boost. You know, it's just so much damage coming through. You have to run away, or you have to kill
That was just a
quickly.
great leapfrog by Lime there, able to basically bait out the Juno ult, the only ult on Davis's side, and then just walk away and then come back with the rest of the team and just win the fight.
Davis is going to struggle to touch here. They do have Bob coming up, but it's just a little bit too far off. You know, Zeb's likely looking to pop a Terra Surge on point actually yet too. But Lime goes very aggressive, comboing with Consta's Blade, and they're able to clean this fight up before it even starts.
Yeah, they just didn't have enough ults to contest the second point there. They just get up for free. And as well with more people alive, so honestly they could just keep pushing their advantage.
Looks like Courier's going back to spawn, likely swapping over to the... Oh, he's swapping over to the Widow, actually. Trying to challenge this Ashe from range. We'll see how that pick plays off. You know, it's a semi-close quarters map, especially with Blue Fire on the Genji. Courier might have some trouble here, but if he can get any kind of value on Widow, this will be an easy third point for UCLA.
Yeah, and we still have Consta just lurking up top, just being a nuisance. Looks like Zeb's going to maybe commit with a... Nah, just pushing them back here.
Yeah, very aggressive Bob, but they aren't able to follow up on it, you know. Lime's Fortify just provides too much durability to burst through. Bob took, you know, maybe 10 seconds off the clock, but really not much of a setback for UCLA.
Yeah, and here looks like they're just trading damage, seeing if they can work any. Rally does get popped out.
Rally with, an aggressive engage from Lime, but they're not able to find anything. Both Orisas popping their Fortify. Zeb's going with a Terra Surge, actually forcing Lime back. Lime falls very low. And Tropic actually rallies just after Lime dies. A little bit of unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it just seems like UCLA wasn't really prepared for all the ults to come out. They're just kind of playing behind the corner. Didn't have enough information to spot that Lime would just, Zebs would kind of just go and commit and just pick off Lime.
LA actually swapping over, Tropic swapping to Kiri here. An interesting pick, maybe to poke more of the, poke the Ashe out. Moonglow goes with an aggressive orbital. Blue Fire going with a Blade as well. Zebs finds Courier. This fight is easily going the way of Davis, it looks like, but actually Blue Fire's not able to find anything with the Blade. Xerxes popped an orbital of his own.
It's anyone's fight right now. Just very scrappy.
Concentrating out Wannabe. This fight is even. Up one for the side of UC Davis now. Lime pops the Terra Surge, and Elastic Jeffrey finds Isaac. Blue Fire falls as well, and actually this fight has fully flipped in favor of UCLA. Just 1 HP on Zebs, but it looks like they're not able to finish. Consta overturns a little bit into Wannabe's crosshairs, but Courier trades it out onto Moonglow. A huge pick for UCLA. They can still fight this, and they want to. Courier pops sights.
Just denying so much map control right now. Like no one wants to peek into Courier's crosshairs.
They know they have to respect it, and yeah, already finds a body shot.
Lime is able to just bully his way through. Oh, great shot!
Crazy shot. I don't think that was even. Not sure who he was aiming at, but Courier does find Moonglow, and this might be turning the way of UCLA.
Yes. Yeah. Seems like Davis was harassing the Widow enough until the last couple minutes, and then Courier's able to sit up there, deny so much area with his map, with his infrared sights.
Yeah, once sights comes up, really only Genji can challenge that Widow. No one else can walk out safely. They don't know exactly where Widow is, And then once they have that information, you know, Blue Fire does try and go on Courier, but Courier does find
That was
Moonglow
a
behind
great
him.
shot by Courier there.
Great shot. That's a, yeah.
Yeah.
That shot really
Might just be
closed out the
game winning
map.
right there.
Yeah, really closed out the point for
Yeah.
them. I expect we'll see some pretty similar team comps from both sides. You know, the big variable here I think is Courier. You know, he can play Cass, Ashe, Widow, really anything here.
Ready
Opting for the Ashe.
We do have a mirror set up right now.
It's a little bit less of a glass cannon than the Widow. You know, Ashe can hold her own a little bit more, but you know, still squishy enough where you do have to play around her sight lines. You can't go out too far.
Right, of course. Want to be actually switching to the Cass.
out there.
Trying to maybe just stay in fights.
Yeah.
Take more close range fights.
Brawl
there.
a little bit heavier,
Yep.
force a lot of pressure
Yep.
onto Lime. We'll see if he stays on that or walks out on the Ashe instead.
To learn
Yep.
them all.
Yeah. UCLA setting up on high ground here. Tropic and Courier gonna play together. Their goal is just not to get split, both keeping each other alive when the Genji dives on them.
5,
Yeah, no Widow to worry about, at least
3,
in the opening. So
UCLA still gonna play cautious though, because they don't know that quite yet. But once they know that there's no Widow, they have a little bit more space to work with. Davis actually rotating around Statue. We saw LA trying to go through Hotel quite a bit, but Davis is opting for a little bit of a wider approach. Going under and kind of
it
tanking
does
here.
leave their supports open to Courier shots. Like, he's putting in so much damage right now. Able to give Consta enough damage to just get that thing. Consta's just
Sets up
rolling off of
two,
that advantage. Yeah.
two great kills for Consta, yeah. Davis is gonna have to really adjust here. They know they can't let Courier have space. They know
Yeah.
exactly where he wants to play now. So they're either gonna have to go fast under Courier or fast through Hotel, but they
Yeah.
can't afford to sit there.
Yep. We'll see how Davis does respond to that. But
Their approach is looking similar. Okay, they're trying to
they're
going around the
speed ringing
same
through it.
way, speed ringing under. But
Oh.
yeah, the dynamite comes through from Courier, and Consta's able to clean up again. The rotate is just not fast enough. You cannot outrun Courier's shots.
yeah, there's no answer to Courier right now. Might honestly just have to like go through Hotel. I don't know, like
they're gonna have to switch something up because they just cannot seem to get through under UCLA. So they're gonna have to try and go around.
My ultimate is almost
Consta
ready.
already almost has Dragon Blade.
Yeah, very fast play for him. Yeah,
Could be-
okay.
yep.
Looks like Davis is taking an even wider approach, trying to take high ground. Not an optimal angle, but we'll see if it can work. Yeah, Courier's able to rotate around and apply pressure from the other side of the map now. Zebs
does
falls off
fall.
high ground, so does Cass. And yep, Courier finds Moonglow on the rotate
They're all
again.
just trapped inside. Yep.
Clean up. Yeah, it's just wherever Davis goes, Lime is playing, or Courier is playing. Not quite there, but
Been swept.
Just
close
able
enough.
to put enough pressure to just, or enough damage actually, just to allow Consta to just get pixels.
They're so worried about Courier, they can't also focus on Consta. So
Yeah.
Consta has free reign in the Davis backline.
Yeah, actually, UCLA does have 4 ults available. Davis looks like they're almost getting the support ults up, so we could be seeing a commit.
Yeah, likely going to be a very scrappy fight here with ults coming out from both sides. Zeb's finding a spear onto Lime, just trying to make a little bit of space. Courier actually dropped onto the low ground, so Davis feels a little bit more comfortable fighting closer to point here.
Davis has a lot more space here compared to before, but
Bob coming up to Courier and Consta in the backline. A great combo there. Able to pick off Moonglow again. And yeah, Zebs is forced into the backline. He'll fall to Bob. Actually, a very defensive Bob. Might have been booped by Isaac. But
Blue Fire does
got
get the pick on
job done.
Courier though, so. And we have 2 players behind. Maybe looking to spawn camp or
Yeah.
just be a nuisance, honestly.
Davis probably looking to go faster. You know, Courier doesn't have time to set up, so if they go fast, they might be able to take point here.
Yeah, although they will be walking in, it will just be 4 ults versus 4 ults, so honestly could be anyone's game.
Yeah. Slight advantage on UCLA's side. Okay, Orbital's coming out from both sides. Rally coming out from Davis. Just a mess of ultimates here. Isaac is somehow able to find Xerxes in the chaos.
Finally comes out.
Consta popping the blade, but wannabe Deadeye
Great,
finds
yeah.
him. And this looks like the UCLA defense is falling apart. This fight is just too scrappy for them to keep up.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the flank actually might have been the difference there, because UCLA was split looking forward as well as looking backwards, so they just didn't have enough, like, they couldn't just group everyone in the choke and just deal enough damage there, so there's always worry about that back presence from Blue Fire.
Blue Fire didn't even,
Yeah, they just kind of walk forward.
didn't even pop the blade
Yeah,
for that.
exactly, yeah.
Just so much impact. Looks like LA is trying to hold a little bit aggressive on this choke. Not giving any space to Davis for free. Tropic does have a rally available to counter Blue Fire's Blade. It's going to be a relatively low ultimate fight. Both teams' ultimate banks still recovering.
The longer this fight goes, Courier with the long distance, no one's harassing him. He's just able to get free damage there.
Yeah, no one able. Cast just a little bit too far range for Cast to poke out. Blade coming out from Blue Fire and counter rally coming out. A great disengage from UCLA. Just instantly across, you know.
They were just waiting for that.
They are just out.
The re-engage comes in now, probably.
They still have that overhealth from Rally, and they're looking to push a fight with it, but Lime falls very low. Bob going in the backline from Courier.
No kills getting secured though, so.
Bob still doing damage, and yet Courier is able to find a kill. Bob, even though he didn't get any kills, just putting out so much damage that UCA is able to finish them off.
UCLA kind of just boxed them in there, forced them into the little room in the box, and Bob just like couldn't allow them to leave. So great plays by UCLA.
My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, fairly even ultimate banks here. You know, Davis just has that rally available though, which can maybe push them over the edge to get out of choke here.
Yeah, Davis committing their Judo ult.
Yeah, orbital from Moonglow, but no kills immediately from it. Consta's playing above, not allowing Blue Fire to push up, but Wannabe is able to find Lime with the help of that orbital ray. Xerxes does try and counter orbital ray, allowing Consta to find Wannabe, but it's just too late. UCLA is already falling. It's a 3v2 in the favor of Davis now. Make it 3v1.
You have
just
Courier
Courier
in the
left.
back line.
Trying to find a wide flank here, likely just trying to kite that orbital ray. But
Late
you know,
death, yep.
left Lime alone, and the supports are not able to keep him up through that orbital ray.
Yeah, Davis just had an extra support ult. UCLA did not have, just used the rally, so Davis knew that they had both Judo ult and rally, could just bully them out, and that's what they did.
I wonder if Zeds will try and go aggressive here with the Terra Surge like Lime did on this point on UCLA's attack. But no, it looks like Davis is actually forced a little bit back. Not in a great position right now. Lime just looking for an opportunity to use that Terra Surge. Lime popping 4 to 5. Both speed rings out from teams, but no decisive engage made here. Both teams content to just wait it out. But the longer the fight goes on, the better for UCLA. Both Orissas pop their Terra Surges. Question is, whose was first? And it looks like Lime's came second. He's able to finish it off because of that. Yeah, great play from Lime there, because when you're in your Terra Surge, you know, as long as you're close to full health, you can't die to another Terra Surge as Orisa.
Yep. It looks like that was just kind of a desperation play by Davis. They only had 5 seconds, or they only had 10 seconds left, so it's kind of make or break, and yeah.
They were just not able to take enough space like UCLA did when they fought that point earlier in the map.
Yeah. I think, yeah, in the Kings Row game, it seems like it was less of a problem of, like, actually, I guess Courier was still just dishing out so much damage, but Davis was able to respond kind of with that flank play. I really like that, where they kind of just split the attention of UCLA. Honestly, if they're able to do that more, maybe with like someone going in the back line, that could be like the key to all their problems.
It was a great adaptation, but it was just too late. You know,
Yeah.
too much time was off the clock. They had lost too many fights. The ultimate bank had already swung out of favor.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, they did a great job there of taking away Courier space, and if they continue to do that, I think they can, you know, maybe do well in this third map.
Yep.
But,
of course, yeah.
you know, if they're not able to do that, I think UCLA is just playing so well as a team to guarantee that Courier has sight lines and that, you know, supports are keeping him up,
Yep.
and Courier's keeping up the supports in turn.
Yep.
It's a very hard hold to break.
Yeah, and I say both teams, UCLA and Davis, have great leapfrog skills. They're kind of just backing up. Kind of, you can see like the team pushing forward, and then the team like giving the space, and then coming back right when the ult ends.
Yeah, multiple times there, UCLA. The second they were waiting, you know,
Yeah.
they knew exactly. They were doing a great job tracking ults. They knew exactly what Davis had. The second those ultimates went off, they were
Yeah,
nowhere
they were
to be
just
seen.
going. Yep.
They were gone. Okay, so we're going to Esperanza for the next map.
Interesting. Okay, we have a push map.
Which,
okay.
you know, Esperanza, you can actually run, you know, kind of a bunch of different
Anything.
team
Yeah,
comps.
Odyssey. Yeah.
It looks like maybe Davis is trying to move away from the Orisa comps. Maybe they think they're not having too much success there.
Yep.
You know, I'm curious to see if they'll keep the Brig Juno or they'll opt for something else. Maybe a Brig Ana with a Monkey. We haven't seen, you know, any other tanks from either of these teams so far in this tournament.
Yeah, just also curious to see maybe the DPS switch it up as well.
Mhm.
I like Ash and Genji are doing a lot of work right now, but maybe UC Davis opts for more either brawly or more of like a dive comp.
Mm-hmm.
It's all available on this map, so
Yeah.
I guess wait and see whatever whatever comps they bring out. Yeah.
Yeah, Ash Genji is still, very strong on this
Yeah.
map, so I would not be surprised to see Courier and Consta running that same composition. They were having a lot of success on it. Consta was just able to clean up, every dynamite that Courier threw.
Yeah.
He was finding something.
Yep.
Yeah, great teamwork between those two. But yeah, it's I know you say sometimes they do like to lean more on the monkey for this map, so I
Yeah.
would not be surprised to see Xerxes move over to the Ana, Tropic staying on Brig, and then Lime on the monkey.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
could see that as well. Yeah.
It's all up in the air here.
Just waiting. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I think UCLA, they might. Honestly, I feel like they would just keep the same comp. Like whatever, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
that same logic. Wait to see what Davis does in their adaptation, and then see how to counter that. Because if it keeps working, it keeps working.
Because, yeah, Davis is definitely putting a bit of fight there, but they need to make some serious adaptations to really have a chance of taking a map away from UCLA after getting 2-0 on Lijiang. And then, they didn't even cap second point there on Kings Row.
Yeah. Yeah, great holds by UCLA there. But it should be... Hopefully it's a closer game here.
Yeah,
All right,
closer
looks
for
like we are live here.
Yeah, looks like some interesting comps out of the gates. And
Wanna be
is
on the Sojourn.
Davis is... Okay, yeah, they are swapping... Okay, back to their Moira Juno, but with a monkey this time.
Yeah, look, trying to be maybe... Honestly, might just try to outmaneuver UCLA. Like, they have Arissa, the monkey, and Bluefire can just isolate a target, try to get that pick.
And Isaac can get much more involved in the backline on Moira than
Wanna be
Brig.
also having a slide.
Railgun charged.
Sojourn's a little bit of unconventional, but you don't see too much Sojourn, She recently got buffed, but she's still not necessarily meta.
Maybe trying to look to answer against Courier's long range as well, but we do have the monkey diving in here.
Zevs is jumping in, trying to put some pressure on the UCA backline, but Courier's, already on the other side of the map. And UCLA is happy to kind of flip around this map, not committing too hard to one spot. Looks like Zevs is trying to set up for another dive. Maybe onto this, Ash onto Courier, but Courier has coach saved for it. And Xerxes is able to find Moonglow with the help of Lime.
Having to back
Enemy
up there.
team is pushing forward.
And with the, okay, Moonglow is actually switching over to Lucy here. Davis is going to try and play much more fast-paced because, they just could not get onto the UCLA backline. UCLA backline's too mobile for them to access.
Yeah, but now UCLA does have the high ground, makes it a lot harder for...
Zevs actually finds an early pick on a Consta. Looks like maybe a little bit of an overextend from Consta. And Bluefire trying to go in on the Ash onto Courier. Zevs also jumps in, isn't able to get quite deep enough to find the kill on the Courier, but
if Davis is fast enough, they can try to convert this one pick into even more,
yeah,
but...
Consta's still not quite back. And yeah, Zev's going in. He is actually quite low. Isaac popping the coal to keep him up, going onto the UCLA backline, but UCLA is just kind of flipping around this pillar. Zevs is able to find the kill on the Tropic, and Lime is very low. It looks like this fight is going in the favor of Davis.
Yeah, it looks like Davis' adaptation is working here. Trying to just go too fast. Courier unable to just kill everyone because they're just all just running at him.
Yeah, the Lucy adaptation is really great from Davis, UCLA wants to play Ring Around the Rosie. Now UC Davis can just go faster.
Right.
Can chase them down. The ultimates are looking a little bit better on the side of UCLA. That orbital ray is just so strong, especially with Arissa and Genji.
Yeah, if they're able to, they can even try to greed with just a single orbital ray and just save the rest of the ults, but...
Davis playing slow here, looking for an engage. Zevs tries to go on Ash, but Courier is able to coach him away. Orbit coming out from Xerxes, and Lime has already found a pick onto Moonglow.
Yeah, Zev's actually falling low and dying here.
Yeah, Zevs falls to Consta. The orbital ray damage is too much for him to fend off.
I feel like Davis has to just respect the orbital ray, use their movement, use all their mobility to just leapfrog, run away, and then once orbital, kind of do what UCLA did in the previous couple of matches.
Let's do it fast.
Yeah, orbital ray is just so strong right now. Kind of whenever it comes out, and the other team doesn't have one to match, it's very difficult. Lime finds an early pick onto Wannabe actually. Both DPS. Kind of the team is very split right now for Davis.
Yeah,
Lime
no one
finding
able
another
to go
on
in
Isaac.
with Zevs here, so...
And Zev's primal, isn't able to find anything. Just he has no support back there. His team is completely split. And looks like UCLA will be able to push all the way towards forward spawn here.
Yeah, I think that was a great play by Lime. He kind of just he walked into the choke and split off the dive. Zevs tried to commit with a monkey dive, but Bluefire and Wannabe were caught between Lime, and they couldn't follow up and kind of forced Zevs to pop his primal early, and now he's switched back to Arissa. So.
UCLA Ultimate Bank is looking very healthy, and Courier finds an early pick onto Wannabe. Rally coming out from Tropic. and counter beat coming from Moonglow, but Tropic already finds Isaac. This beat is too late. It's a 3v5 for Davis. They're not going to be able to do anything here. And they try to use the blade to turn it. Able to find Tropic, but Moonglow is already traded out, and Courier finishes off Bluefire. A very desperate play there from Bluefire.
Yeah.
You know, very shaky from Davis there.
Davis has no ults. UCLA coming in with both the Arisol and Genji Blade. So
Yeah, UCLA could be looking to close this out, you know, before the 10 minutes expires.
Yep.
It's a very strong position, yeah, especially with the Orbital coming on late in the fight. Want to be swapping over to the Venture, and Zev's going on to the Queen. It looks like they're going to try and get engaged and very involved in the backline here. Venture trying to set up engages.
Yep. Lime almost getting a pick. Oh, does get the pick onto Bluefire here.
Despite
almost getting the brig as well.
Despite Isaac being there, Lime is not scared of that fight. Just takes both of them out. Zevs is able to trade onto Tropic, but it might be too late. No, Moonglow does find Constant in the backline. Lime isn't able to find anything with his Orbital, but Xerxes can finish off Zevs. But it's a little bit too far.
Yeah. UCLA has to back up. They're just out of the spawners came in for Davis' side, and UCLA just ran out of people.
Yeah, it's too, you know, when you're that far away from the end, you can't be losing
it's
more than one. Otherwise, that fight's just over. So smart decision there from UCLA to back off. They're holding at this very advantageous position around the corner before UC Davis can even get past UCLA's forward spawn.
Yeah, UCLA's high ground is just too much. Davis has to respect it. They back up.
Orbital Ray coming out from Xerxes. No orbital to match from Davis. Lime gets deep in the back line, and yeah, Zevs is not able to disengage. Courier finding that kill. Lime finishing off one of the... Yeah, the Orbital Ray mismatch is just too strong for Davis to overcome. They're going to be coming up on one of their own, but I don't know if it'll be enough here.
Approaching the final destination.
Yeah, it seems like UCLA just holding their ground. The more they brawl, the better it is. They just have more ults.
Early Bob coming out from Courier, just making tons of
Great
space in
isolation
Lime.
by Lime onto the
Yeah, able to kill Isaac with the help of that Bob and just start off the end of this last fight.
Yeah, looks like UCLA is just closing it out.
And yeah, very strong stuff from UCLA.
Great performance. UCLA a little only kind of showing some weakness in the first couple fights, but then once they're able to adapt, I think honestly, Lime just like cutting off the team, like just putting himself in the middle of UC Davis. They just didn't know what to do and couldn't coordinate their dives properly, and it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, I think the big thing there is UCLA was so much more adaptable. You know, in the first two maps, Davis was really struggling to adapt to UCLA's team comps. But, you know, there, when Davis changed over to the Lucio and UCLA lost that initial fight, UCLA was able to instantly adapt to that new composition and then just start rolling again.
Yep. We can definitely see the like veteran experience coming out in UCLA. Kind of just whatever gets thrown at them, they'll respond somehow, one way or another. But yeah, that is a 3-0 finish. UCLA defeats Davis, and we'll be going to the next round after a short break.
Welcome back to the UCEI online qualifiers for Overwatch presented by Xfinity. We've seen only 3-0s so far today, but now we've got UCSC versus UCSD. We expect this to be a little bit of a closer match. Interesting picks coming out from both teams.
The UCSC and UCSD both 3-0'd their matchups in the first round. As now we're going to see the first second round matchup here between UCSC and UCSD. Let's talk about the teams though.
Yeah, UCSC, second seed in the tournament, very strong team, and you know, a lot of returning players here. They've got some very notable players, you know, Zebra and Psyche, both well known in the Overwatch community. Zebra only really plays Doomfist, you know, occasionally flexes over to other heroes, but expect to see a lot of Doomfist this map. And last year at LAN, Zebra on Doomfist and Nevermind and Trace were both, you know, very, very strong, so expect to see some great plays from both of them. They recently placed top 32 in the Collegiate Homecoming Tournament, and you know, fun fact, most of their team lives together in a so-called gamer house.
Pretty cool, pretty
Yeah.
cool. But let's not forget about UCSD, third seed in our tournament, just behind UCSC. They've got a pretty new roster with only 2 players, being Ziana and Moosh. All other players, though, 3 out of 5 are new. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So
Curse
we're
me
on
all
Ilios
you want.
first.
Without
UCSD's
conflict,
choice,
there is
or
no
UCSC's
future
choice
for
as the
humanity.
higher seed, I believe. And yep, Zebra rolling out on the Doomfist here. Nevermind on Echo.
2, 1.
What I do think is interesting already here is that UCSC is opting for a Brig Ana rather than a Brig Juno.
Yeah, very classic dive comp backline. So we'll see how UCSD responds to this with a much more rush-oriented comp. Looks like Zebra's just setting up. UCSC playing very slow here, waiting for UCSD to walk into their trap potentially. San Davison moved over to the Tracer after TPing out. Good knife landed onto Zebra, pulling him late, but Zebra hits a great punch onto Gloomy, falling low, not able to finish that kill though.
Both battle here. Both teams looking for a picks, trying to see who catches out who. Out of position, Zinnia goes down.
A lot of damage.
Davison.
A lot of damage coming in from all sources onto Zinnia. And yet, Zebra's been playing very patient here, but he's choosing his fights very wisely. He's able to find Gloomy, but Moosh trades out San Davison, and Fang is able to find Nevermind on the Echo.
He's got a 3v3 here. Supports are isolated for UCSC. Zebra and his supports versus the rest of UCSD, who have come back to reset here, engaging onto the rest of UCSD, who's still resetting.
And Moosh is able to finish off Zebra there with use of Shout. And yeah, Zebra's having a hard time here, you know, with that, especially with Brig and Queen and Cass, really. I think UCSD, they knew Zebra was going to roll out on the Doomfist. That's why the Cass pick. It makes it just very hard for Zebra to engage.
UCSDs just have so much ability to shut down Zebra's rotates here.
Yeah.
But he is building up a lot of ult charge in comparison to the other tank and DPS. However, UCSD's support ults are much more, especially the Juno ult. Basically, they almost have it.
Great axe and knife from there from Moosh, but Sleep comes out from Foxes to fend off the kill. Fang has the orbital available, but likely going to wait till this Meteor Strike lands. Doesn't find anything.
We've got Nano up for UCSC and Orbital Ray up. Coming out from UCSD with the Nano coming on to Zebra.
Is the Nano too late though? UCSD is already able to find 2. Reap's finding a 3rd. Zebra is on point, not quite able to get it flipped. But UCSC is investing in this fight with the duplicate. Not able to find much. Recall already forced. Nevermind falling very low, forced out of duplicate. And yeah, Gloomy finds Zebra.
That looks to be the fight here. UCSD able to win the fight while saving all the ults that they built up so far. Coming up on 4 ultimates here, while UCSC only really has the rally. So we have to see what UCSD can do without the major ults that UCSD has.
Yeah, very uneven fight here. Great hinder onto Foxes. Great pressure there. And yeah, UCSD is already crumbling before this fight's even begun. You know, before major ults are even really used.
95% now, coming up on 100 here. Let's see if UCSC can utilize that rally to somehow keep them in this fight, while UCSD still has the Rampage and rally of their own.
Desperate rally there. Nevermind is actually able to find Fanglight here. This is looking potentially winnable for UCSC. But Zinnia does trade out Nevermind. Reap's finding Zebra.
Both rallies come out along with the Rampage from UCSD.
And the ult bank was just too strong there from UCSD for Santa Cruz to really come back despite their opening pick.
And 100-0 here from UCSD. Didn't look, there were some glimmers of hope, but it felt like UCSD just controlled the pace of the fight, shutting down Zebra at every turn.
Yeah, which is very surprising. You know, you think, you know, the major advantage of Doomfist, Tracer, Echo, you play very mobile, but UCSD is somehow able to turn that on them and kind of find the backline, always find vulnerable targets, no matter where UCSD plays from.
Now we're seeing two vital comp switches here from both teams. UCSD opting for the Widow and UCSD opting actually for the Venture.
That, you know, we saw Irvine earlier today really use that Venture to set up with the Queen onto the enemy backline. So we'll see how involved Venture gets in the enemy backline.
A rollout coming out from Zebra here, trying to make as much space, getting as many good sidelines for his Widowmaker here.
And Reap's now on the Genji zone, even more aggressive rush comp, really trying to all in this UCSD backline.
Yeah, and we can see UCSD completely trying to wrap around to the backline of UCSD, trying to take advantage of the vulnerabilities that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, Sam Davison already falls before Zinnia's even positioned. Nevermind's able to trade out Gloomy, but Zinnia has a beautiful setup there, able to find Zebra. Reap's finishing off the backline.
Yeah, and we see again, UCSD just able to use their brawl mobility to isolate the backline of UCSC, who's kind of left behind in the wake of Zebra and Nevermind.
Great pick there from Reaps, a crazy combo, just one-shots Nevermind. That's an instant reset for UCSC. Zebra falling very low. You can see how little ult charge Venture has, but despite that, doing so much, you know, just with positioning and the threat really, more so than the damage coming out.
So much zoning space able to come out. And even the CC completely destroying the backline. Although there is trades on both sides here. People going down. It is now a 2v1 in favor of UCSD. But UCSD just can't take the space.
Yeah, how is UCSD? They're really just thinking now about how they're going to counter this Venture. The Venture is just, you know, the burst engages do so much damage that the Queen can easily finish off with a shout. Even if they trade, it's not enough. Missed pulse from Nevermind. UCSC ult bank is not looking too great. Both supports coming online in a little bit. Great rampage from Moosh coming onto the UCSC backline. He's able to find Foxes.
Finding all of UCSC. Coming up now on 70%, going to 75. And we see if this might, depending on how long this fight goes, we might be in one fight territory for the map.
Yeah, and UCSC, they do have, you know, a very similar ult bank here. But Orbital Blade coming out from Fang is just such a strong ult bank. Reap's
where's the contest? Is there a C9?
Oh, UCSC does actually flip, so this does possibly extend it to another fight for them.
Yeah, a little more time, especially with Zebra's Doomfist ult here to stall out even more.
Yeah, Zebra's playing, he knows he has that, Meteor Strike pops it there. Probably a little bit earlier than he would have liked. Not able to find anything initially.
Trying to stay alive so he can possibly get the nano from his teammate here in this last fight here, guaranteed. While UCSD has the rally, they have the ventral. There you go, there's the nano and the engage onto the Junker Queen, finds him.
So much damage with that empowered punch. Now just brawling on point against the rally. UCSC Psyche falling very low, but Sam Davison is able to find a kill on a Gloomy.
Able to utilize the ults that they had to completely isolate and burst down the Junker Queen of Moosh on UCSD, just completely winning them the fight there.
And UCSD actually didn't even have to use their rally there. And Zebra's already halfway to another Meteor Strike. So UCSD is not in a bad position here at all.
Definitely not. Working towards that Sojolt. They're definitely going to try to find a massive pick here with the Pulse Bomb. Let's see what they can do in this little Tracer 1v1.
Venture ult coming online for UCSD. UCSD pops the rally in response. Zinnia is able to find Nevermind, but nothing else with the ult. Looks like UCSD is going to have to back off temporarily while UCSD gains control of the point. Zinnia does fall to Zebra. Zebra looking for a touch onto point, but Sam Davison is killed by Fangblade. This is looking very scrappy, but the nano or empowered punch. Zebra gets Moosh very low. Nevermind able to finish that off. Nevermind
two here. It looks like they will be able to turn this fight around.
Nevermind doing a lot of work there, just capitalizing all the opportunities that Zebra makes. That's just great stuff there from Nevermind.
Amazing mechanics there coming out from Nevermind. And we see UCSC coming up now on 3 ults. We got the Meteor Strike, the Nano,
Good to see
and the
you.
Sojourn Ultimate here. And on UCSD, working towards the Orbital Ray, has the Pulse Bomb to look for a pick, and working towards the Carnage. Let's see what they can do.
Early knife onto Psyche. Great play, but Moosh falls low and is not able to follow up on it. Sandavison pops the overclock, finds a great kill on the Fang. Queen tries to aggress, but just not able to close the distance fast enough.
Burst it down. And UCSC really turning around this map here, all the way from 99-0 to 99-80. Entering here into one-fight territory for both teams.
UCSC not able to find that stagger on a Tracer. That stagger would have been round-ending. But looks like Reaps will have a touch here, and UCSC has a healthy ult bank with Rally coming online soon.
Yeah, 4 ults coming up here while UCSC only has the Nano. Let's see what they can do with it. Let's see who they put it on. Zebra here.
UCSC doing a great job of kiting Moosh in that orbital ray, but Moosh gets the ultimate off.
This is your warning.
Doesn't find much, but Zinnia is able to pick off Sandaviston. Zinnia finds another kill on the Psyche.
Huge pick onto Psyche there, going down before he can build up his rally.
Zebra trying to salvage this fight, but he's just too low.
Now all that's remaining is Nevermind to just try and stall out while Sandaviston tries to get to the point, but he doesn't make it. And while it was close, it is a win for UCSD 2-0 on this control point.
Yeah, I think it's a very common theme we've seen today. Just the team that's more adaptable coming out on top. You know, UCSD, they're pretty limited with their Doom pick, but you know, and UCSD, they had to adapt. You know, you think UCSD is on the back foot here, having to adapt to a very uncommon pick. But UCSD actually came off very strong, and they didn't just ride that, you know, strong first map. They actually swapped over to the Venture for a very aggressive, you know, wrench thrown in UCSD's defense, really, on those fights.
Yeah, and I think this is sort of set the precedent for what the rest of the maps are going to look like. It's going to look like UCSD sort of trying to find the best ways to adapt to Zebra's Doomfist on each map. And if they're successful, they'll take the dubs like they did here. But if Zebra's just able to snowball with the sort of unconventional playstyle that people aren't used to against the Doomfist, that's where we'll see UCSD shine.
Yeah, if UCSD can keep on throwing these wrenches in UCSD's plans, you know, on the other unconventional picks, the Venture, I still don't think UCSD has quite figured it out. You know, they did stabilize there a little bit, but in the end, the Venture was a little bit too much for them to deal with. So I'm curious where Santa Cruz will take us here. Obviously, they're going to be picking mostly around the Doomfist pick. Okay, on Gibraltar. Very interesting pick, actually, you know, a strong dive map.
Yeah.
I expect we'll see, you know, kind of the standard monkey on a brig from San Diego, but since they know that UCSD is going to roll out on the Doomfist, they really could run anything here.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what UCSD chooses to sort of adapt to with their team compositions, to adapt to the Doomfist of UCSD on Gibraltar, because like you said, the sort of default on this map is sort of a dive with hitscan elements like Ash and Cassidy, but against the Doomfist, a lot of things change.
You know, a lot of teams really like the Ash here, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Cass instead, just to fend off the Doomfist. Although, you know, San Diego didn't seem to like the Cass too much on Ilios well there. So I'm not sure if they'll stick on that pick.
Yeah, so I think the way that the pace of this map is going to be completely dictated on UCSD's team composition here. We know what UCSD are going to play because of that, his expertise on Doomfist. The team sort of we know the team's sort of going to play around that, but UCSD's adaptations are definitely a mystery here.
Although, you know, UCSD can definitely throw some curveballs here. You know, do they want to run, say, an Echo Tracer like we've seen before on this map, Echo Genji? I think the DPS are really where they can make a lot of, you know, compositional moves on UCSD.
And even the supports, too. We saw on Ilios, we saw Brig Anna the entire time, but it's possible that UCSD throw in the Juno there, or maybe they go with another all-in comp with even a Lucio.
Yeah, Lucio Kiri. I've definitely seen teams run Lucio Kiri on this map, you know, with a dive tank. It's a little bit unconventional, but it can definitely work.
Yeah, so a lot of variables coming out here from both sides. We actually have, it is completely a mystery how these games are going to go coming out here from the second and third seeds of this tournament.
Yeah, especially since, you know, in collegiate, It's not quite the highest level of play. You know, it's high enough where these players are all very, very mechanically strong, but it's not quite so high where every player is necessarily forced into the meta. So it opens up a lot of interesting team comps.
Yeah, so we might even see, like we talked about before, I think the most variation on UCSD's end to sort of counteract what the Doom pick that they assume UCSD is going to go with is going to come in the variation of the hit scans. Are they going to go Ash? Are they going to go Cassidy? Will they bring out something that no one would ever thought of?
And then, yeah, if UCSD does decide to run the Cassidy, that makes them more vulnerable to a Widow on UCSD's side. You know, Widow can take a lot of map control, especially on first point Gibraltar, making it very hard for defenders to peek out.
Yeah, so if we do see the Widow, maybe this will be a game of a lot of adaptations with a lot of hero swaps depending on the point. If UCSD comes out with the Widow, maybe UCSD has to respond in kind. Maybe they have maybe UCSD needs to focus more on CC because they wanted to run the default comp with an Ashe, so they have to make a lot of adaptations there. Maybe UCSC finding that Doomfist doesn't work like it did on Ilios, even tries to swap the tank.
Yeah, because D.Va has, you know, occasionally flexed in the past over to other tank heroes. I think, you know, I'm most curious about if San Diego decides to run the same or different comps on offense and defense. I think that can really throw off Santa Cruz. We saw that they weren't able to adapt too quickly to the Venture thrown in the mix last map. So I think if San Diego is able to, you know, make it work on 2 different comps on this map, that can be a great tool for them.
Yeah, that time in between rounds gives, and if UCSD isn't able to adapt to one comp, if UCSD completely switch up the pace, then UCSD will have to take all that time to readapt.
It looks like SC is opting for the same on a break backline, and San Diego is on the Widow, actually. Widow D.Va, actually a little bit unconventional, but the D.Va likely to counter the Doom a little bit more than a Monkey would be able to.
Yeah, so a lot of this defense here from UCSD will depend on how much space Moosh and Reaps are going to be able to make for the Widowmaker here of Zinnia. Are they going to get into the sightlines, or is he going to be overwhelmed by the Doomfist?
5, 4.
So we'll see. Oh, San Davison actually moving on over to the May. Very, very interesting comp from Santa Cruz.
We'll see what Nevermind switches to here.
Okay, off to the Tracer. Very standard pick for Gibraltar.
Stop the payload.
They just, oh, Zinnia finds a great pick onto San Davison already. They just have nothing to counter that Widowmaker until they get a little bit of map control.
Exactly, and the D.Va here coming out from Moosh, doing his best to keep Zebra at bay, prevent him from diving onto the back line.
Zinnia finding another kill on the Foxes, and Moosh is, you know, it's not the most standard hold here, but holding on Cart, he doesn't really fear the UCSC frontline enough. He can't get bursted down quick enough, or his backline traded out quick enough that he's scared to play down on Cart. You know, he has moved back up to high ground here, and left Cart for Reaps to stall, but he does drop back down. Zinnia finds another kill on the San Davison.
That is 3 picks now here coming out from Zinnia. We have not seen an answer for this Widowmaker yet. He has so much free space here, even up on the bridge, that UCSC should have control of by now.
Zinnia trying to take an aggressive angle, but backs off of bridge as Zebra tries to challenge that. Zebra does find the pick onto Zinnia in between the 2 supports.
And that just opens up the entire rest of the map for UCSC here. Taking the top, killing the Moosh D.Va here, taking down the Tracer who built up their pulse bomb.
Yep, when Zebra commits to the backline, in addition to just killing Zinnia, he takes the focus of both supports away from Moosh, allowing the rest of his team to kill Moosh.
Yeah, that's really the pace of the game that we're going to see here. Is Zebra going to be able to make enough space to shut down the Widowmaker?
Reaps finds a great pulse on the Psyche with the help of Orbital Ray, and finds another. That Orbital Ray damage is just huge. Yeah, finding a third. This fight's just been easily turned to Orbital Ray. So strong, so much damage. Great one, or almost one clip there onto Nevermind.
UCSD there was just able to utilize all their ults to keep their backline alive and keep Zebra from isolating the Widow of Zinnia like he's trying to do right now. And if they're able to do that, then the rest of UCSD is just able to use all the space that they have to take down the rest of UCSC.
Zinnia falls very low, and San Davison is able to find that pick. They're playing very aggressive. ends up punishing.
Blizzard
Sandy.
online here. Let's see if they decide to invest it, but he goes down to the torpedoes of Fangblade.
Foxes does find Fangblade, and Reaps falls low.
Rally comes out here from Psyche, along with the 4 other ults of UCSC. Trading rallies here, trading nanos.
Oh, but great punch from Zebra, canceling out the rally from Gloomy.
Looking to engage onto the Widowmaker here, gets Zinnia really low, kills him, and so much more space here is available for UCSC.
Desperation bump from Moosh actually does find one. This is now doable. Fangblade somehow finds Psyche as well.
UCSC find themselves with no supports and 3 ults. 50 seconds left here. They decide to invest to kill the Tracer and Juno here of UCSD. And this fight
Moosh
is just all over the place.
Yeah, Moosh is just doing work here. It looks like San Diego have stabilized this point. Fangblade is coming back with that orbital online very nearly. Other than the Blizzard, UCSC does not have much to take this.
Yeah, we're
Moosh,
going to be
great
looking
eat
at
onto Nevermind's pulse bomb there, saving his brig.
We're going to be looking at UCSD here to see if Fangblade can build and use Orbital Ray effectively here to try and counter the use of Blizzard.
Great stick onto the Tracer. Blizzard is able to find Gloomy, but Moosh trades out Psyche.
Zinnia now here finds himself isolated from the rest of the team as the tanks duel here.
Moosh looking a lot healthier than Zebra here.
Zinnia going down after training out Sandevistan.
And then Moosh and Fangblade clean it up. Orbital Ray down. There's nothing Santa Cruz can do here. A very strong hold from San Diego.
Holding them at first point here.
They really did a good job of splitting that map into really 2 holding points right on the first corner, which was a very aggressive angle. And then they were able to regroup fully and stabilize towards the end of point.
Yeah, I think what UCSD did a really good job of there on the first point especially was keeping all the space for the Widows their Widows sightlines to just shut down the UCSC backline.
And once, you know, once Santa Cruz had effectively shut down the Widowmaker, you know, and Tracer from San Diego, Reaps really stepped it up.
Yeah.
And did a lot of work to really stabilize that point.
And they even adapted that quickly and switched off from the Widowmaker to the Cassidy near the end there. Identifying that the Widow's not going to get enough value here at that position of the cart, immediately switching to the Cassidy to directly counter Zebra.
Once they identified that, oh, Santa Cruz has figured out what to do against this, we switch it up again. And Zinnia's going back over to the Widowmaker. I think Santa Cruz will struggle here, as Zinnia, you know, I think will play Widowmaker as long as he can get value, and then swap over to something else.
We might even see the Zen here coming out from UCSD. Zen from Gloomy, never mind switching back to the Brig.
Does not want to play Zen into the Doomfist.
Yeah, I think what will make this map is which of the hit scans can get the most value here.
4, 3,
Yes, and Davison just has a severe range disadvantage, so
we'll see.
Zinnia playing very patient here, not giving away his position. Reaps already going aggressive on the enemy Tracer, forcing recall. Reaps is just putting out so much damage onto Nevermind, taking the upper hand early. Zinnia with a fantastic shot on the Nevermind. That is crazy.
Shot onto the Tracer here, opening up so much of the map for UCSD. We see Zebra trying to respond, trying to get into the backline and take over the high ground, but his own backline is completely taken over.
Fox is hitting some great nades here onto Moosh, but there's just not enough follow-up damage to kill.
We see here UCSC being completely pushed off the high ground here, although they're fighting back for it.
And quite good. Zebra does trade out Zinnia and gets Gloomy very, very low. But Gloomy does survive. Zebra's trying to stabilize on this high ground, allow for his team to push back up and take more space. Moosh is very low.
Wow.
But is able to get out.
UCSC and Zebra able to so effectively turn back around and retake the high ground, which they know is such important space for them to have.
And Zinnia has already gone over back to the cast.
Yeah, immediately we see the adaptation. They know that Zebra is what allowed them to hold that high ground, take it back, and they're immediately switching onto the cast to counter that.
UCSD does have the Orbital Ray available, which is just a fight-winning ult when used correctly. Great hinder from Sandevistan. Perfect timing after the Diva flies in. Two-party use defense matrix.
Finds himself isolated though as he drops. Going down, but Fangblade also gets picked off by Zebra. able to get out, and that might be the fight there. Looking for UCSD, looking to reset here.
Yeah, UCSD did have the spawn advantage there, but with the stagger onto Reaps, they have no more advantage as San Davidson is able to make his way back.
Yeah, now
Aggressive Pulse doesn't find a stick, but Zinnia isn't able to get away in time.
and after this reset here, we'll find 4 ults on both sides almost. This will be the fight, possibly even to win the game here. So many ults are going to be invested. So much space is going to be given to whoever wins this fight.
Reaps forcing cart early. Looks like Nevermind matching to dropping the match. Orbital Ray coming out high ground from Fangblade. Odd positioning, but it looks like they can make great use of it as the backline just crumbles for
It's going to give them
UCSC.
so much space here. They knew the high ground was the most important piece of territory for them to hold.
Great stick from Reaps there, forcing out Zebra's utility, getting the stagger. This will not be easily touchable by UCSC.
Diva's self-destruct here,
Yep.
and that is going to be the second map here.
It was a good hold by UCSC, but, you know, the damage had already been done. They'd been full health on first. They were not able to break the setup, so by the time they adapted, it was too late.
UCSC, I think both teams realized very quickly how important the high ground space was for both of them. And UCSD was just able to so effectively invest their utility to just take all that space and win the fight from there.
And I think, you know, the DPS have just been able to do so much on the side of San Diego. You know, whenever, you know, especially whenever Zinnia gets a counter, he swaps and does, you know, more. Or when Zinnia can't do something because he's getting zoned off by Zebra, Reaps steps up and is able to put in work. And the backline is just doing a great job of surviving, avoiding Zebra as much as possible. Because, you know, that's kind of the recipe against Doomfist. Your backline survives, while your frontline does work.
Yeah, and we saw sort of an unsung hero here was the tank coming out from UCSD, able to peel for his supports and his DPS, sort of dancing between the two to keep both alive, and just giving both of them the ability to make so much space, keep so many people alive for so long, that they were just able to slowly but surely take all the space that they needed to win the game.
Yeah, Moosh really hitting great cart presence there, but also, you know, when he needs to dive, dives, needs to fall back onto his backline to help them, does that. And, you know, the one fight where that didn't go too well, you know, on first point after Zinnia got picked, they were able to regroup very quickly and resume their very strong hold.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah,
I think that game especially showed the importance of space for both teams, especially UCSD. And the UCSD were just so easily able to identify the areas of the map that they needed to take control of that were most important for their team composition to take the most space. We saw there at the end, they were able to use so much utility to invest into the high ground, and once they took the high ground, they just won the game.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where Santa Cruz takes us because, you know, they've played brawl maps, they've played dive maps, but neither's worked out really. And, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another unconventional pick. You know, maybe they whip out Clash, something weird, something to throw San Diego off for a change. But, you know, something like Clash, though, they just have to be cautious of Venture. San Diego is a very strong Venture and plays around that very well.
I think we definitely are going to see something unconventional. Have we seen Widow coming out from both sides?
I think just Zinnia. I don't think Santa Cruz has played too much Widow.
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of an aspect that we haven't seen from them yet. We haven't seen, they're playing so closely around the Doomfist that we haven't seen the others sort of able to shine there. So I wonder if they will be able to sort of take advantage of those long sight lines on our next map here, King's Row, which is going to be a hybrid map. A lot of long sight lines for Widowmakers, but a lot of opportunities for Doomfist to dive too.
Yeah, we saw earlier UCLA was really trying to get the Widowmaker to work, but they ended up having to swap off on King's Row. So we'll see, you know, will UCSD offer the Widowmaker? Will they try it initially, swap over to the Ashe or the Cassidy? I think, you know, Widowmaker is very vulnerable to Doom, but can also be great bait to take pressure off the rest of the team and off the support line.
Yeah, and we've seen UCSD able to make great use of the Widowmaker, especially on the first point where there were a lot of sight lines that they were able to take pretty easy space for the Widow to work off of. On attack for UCSD, we'll definitely be able to see them utilize the Widowmaker because of all the space, all the free space that you sort of just get to hold on King's Row on first point.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I think it's definitely possible that we see another Queen comp or an Orisa comp. I think San Diego has a lot more freedom to, if they did want to play Queen, it's a little bit difficult normally to play Queen on King's Row when you are playing into an Orisa. But since UCSC will not be playing the Orisa, they got a lot more freedom there to vary the comp.
While choosing Doomfist here, ooh, we're going to see a Pharah here coming out from UCSC, and sort of more of a default comp here coming out from UCSD, although they are choosing to opt for the Diva.
Interesting comp from San Diego. I think the Diva will have to, especially with the Pharah, bridge. Oh, Zinnia actually swapping over to the Venture. Okay.
Interesting.
Just a little bit of an odd comp, The Venture pairs very well with Queen, is able to set up very aggressive engages. So we'll see if they try and replicate that with Diva instead.
And UCSC here was opting for Pharaoh Widow, but now switching on to a full dive comp on Genji Tracer here. Genji Tracer, Doomfist, Juno Brig, full dive comp here for UCSC.
Moosh once again playing very far up, going for an early aggressive dive. What the hell is Venture?
UCSC here already contesting the point.
Looks like the map's sort of flipped. Reeves is able to find Nevermind with the help of both supports. Zebra trading out Gloomy. UCSC in slightly better position here. Psyche getting chased down though by Fangblade, and Reeves finds Fox as the backline for UCSC is gone.
Yeah, I think for UCSC there, they decided they overextend so much using their dive comp, because with dive comp, their thinking is we can take so much space so quickly, we can dive so easily onto the backline, but their prongs sort of diverged too far from each other and they were too isolated.
Yeah, UCSC's backline is just so vulnerable, considering you're running Genji Tracer, no cast to help out, nothing like that. You're going for an engage, but San Diego's just gone into Hotel. Both speed rings out for both Junos. San Davison finds Fangblade, and Foxes finds Gloomy. The support line is gone for San Diego.
Reeves building Pulse Bomb here, and Moosh gets DMAC before he can build Self-Destruct.
Support line's traded, but it looks like Santa Cruz will take this point. Very scrappy, not the best, obviously.
Definitely not the cleanest
did lose
fight.
their support line, but they're able to get point, and that's what matters.
Yeah, now we see the ult economy here for both teams. UCSD coming up on 2, almost 3 ults, but UCSC coming up on Genji Blade, Meteor Strike, Rally. Let's see what we can do with them.
Tracer duel off to the side. Neither coming out. Oh, stick coming from Reeps onto San Davison. A great stick allows San Diego to play much more aggressive without fearing for their backline. Zinnia playing this
So
top
much
angle.
space here.
Is chased down by Foxes. Moose trading out Psyche. Blade popped by Nevermind. Misses his dash.
Unable to find the Juno. He's able to so glide
Juno
around.
is just too fast. Nevermind is able to find Fang after Blade
Meteor Strike
expires.
comes down. UCSD is just able to win. UCSC is just able to win the fight from there, using minimal ults, I would say. Able to keep the rally, able to keep the pulse bomb, and ever so close to the orbital ray.
That early kill on Zinnia was just devastating. When Zinnia is down, it's much more difficult to brawl in point. Moose just swapping over to the Queen though now, playing much more brawling. Great punch from Zebra, colliding Gloomy and Zinnia, killing
So
both
much
with the pulse
card
bomb.
distance going to come from that double pulse bomb from UCSD. And that actually gave UCSC the time to build up their orbital ray to trade with UCSD. Originally, their plan was probably to kill and win the team fight before UCSD was able to build orbital ray, but now they've been stalled out. Now they have the time. Now it's going to be a trade of support ults and it's anyone's game.
Yeah, that Ventral though is very deadly combo with Orbital, and UCSD has plenty of time to touch point here. Santa Cruz only had one on for the majority of that fight. Satellite is coming up from both teams. Gloomy able to find Zebra early. This fight is not looking good for Santa Cruz.
Not choosing to invest any more ults either. They know they can win this fight when Zebra goes down.
Yeah, the second Zebra's down, UCSC loses most of their burst damage,
So much pressure alleviated when Zebra goes down. Your backline is 10 times safer. There's so much less pressure coming out from the CC that Doomfist provides.
So yeah, both rallies likely to come out from both sides. Ventral popped very early. Counter rally from Foxes. Fang is able to trade out Psyche. Zinnia finds Zebra. Great Ventral there. And, you know, Gloomy did not even have to pop the rally. The supportal advantage is swinging in favor of San Diego.
UCSD is able to keep winning these fights using the minimum amount of ults for their economy. They're just able to build up and cycle them so well.
UCSD is going so far here. Nevermind actually pops the blade nearly in spawn. But San Diego's able to trade out the backline and kill Nevermind. Fangblade is very vulnerable here without Brig to protect. But San Davison is just too low to finish the kill.
Pushing all the way back to their spawn now. UCSD with Rampage available, Rally available, with UCSD's I would say lower impact ults to respond to that.
And Santa Cruz has moved over to the Pharah. And yeah, San Diego is still set up behind Santa Cruz. Zebra is able to find Zinnia. Reaps trades out San Davison though. This point is so flipped. San Diego is everywhere.
Trades coming out from both sides, and UCSD just isn't able to take the space. Zebra too worried about his backline here to keep pushing forward.
San Diego just keeps on changing their game plan. First they swap to the Queen, now they play this all over the place kind of defense. Queen has Shout and Axe available here. Very survivable, and Rampage.
Space being taken here by UCSD, but let's see what they can do with it. UCSD coming up on some huge ults. Orbital Ray, they have the Rampage, they have the Rally. Let's see how much they invest to win this next fight.
A solo ult. Oh, no, that catches both of the supports on the backline. Foxes falls. Zinnia is able to find San Davison.
And the fight swings in the favor of UCSD,
Very
only
clean.
using Rampage. And they still have both their support ults, while UCSD doesn't even have one.
And San Diego once again pushing very deep into the Santa Cruz backline, making it very difficult for them to even leave spawn. Look how far Cart has moved back in this time. Like Santa Cruz might not even be able to cap if they win a fight here. I think that's the idea behind San Diego's hold.
Yeah, they're holding so forward that if they keep winning fights, the Cart just keep going back.
And Zinnia actually cancels the orbital ray there from Psyche.
Huge. And while the Rally has been used, UCSD still has the orbital ray. They're coming up on the ventral. They shut down Nevermind, who had his barrage.
And a desperation rally popped by Foxes. This is like, I don't think Santa Cruz can even touch here.
3 seconds remaining. Foxes goes down. Zebra desperate, but can you? Desperate touch, getting a little bit of distance. Not going to overtake what they took before, but they're going to
Here
contest
though,
a while.
looking for a sneaky barrage. Might be able to find one or two as they get over eager. Oh, but reveals his position early. Reaps finds a
Foxes gets
spawn
both bombs.
here.
Trade's not in the favor of UCSD.
It is not going to be enough. Zebra does not have time to pop his ultimate. That'll be a second point hold for San Diego.
A decent amount of distance coming out from UCSD, but once UCSD were able to get their footing, it just wasn't close.
Switching sides.
Once the it's the same thing, you know. San Diego keeps on changing things up. Santa Cruz adapts, and once Santa Cruz thinks they've got a good foothold, you know, they're starting to get some momentum. San Diego does something very unexpected, you know, whether it's swapping over to the Venture or the Queen or just completely changing the style of defense.
UCSD, we see here, has a very static play style, whereas UCSD's is very fluid. And I think because of that, UCSD is just so naturally able to get these small advantages over UCSC based only on play style and environments and natural alone.
Ready for battle.
No, even within the team, because that's what UCSC is using very well. You know, they're of course switching team comps, which UCSC doesn't have as much flexibility in. But within the same team comp, they can play it two very different ways and get two very different results.
Once again, just such a fluid playstyle coming out from UCSD. They're able to change the nature of their play so easily. And UCSC here running the same comp that they were running on their first point attack.
And the difficult part here for San Diego will be finding targets to go on with this rush comp. But I think Zinnia on the Venture will make it much easier to access high ground targets.
4, 3,
Yeah, but the main difference here being opting for the Queen to start here. Are they going to be able to, is UCSD going to be able to isolate UCSC effectively?
Reaps on the Genji though as well. I think, yeah, San Diego will have a very easy time accessing high ground, accessing that support line. Early shout out from Moosh, taking space on point, but has no targets to shoot out. This is a very split fight. Zinnia actually peeling for the backline here onto the Doomfist. Gloomy mistimes the counter bash just a bit and falls to Zebra. Reaps does trade out San Daviston, and San Diego has secured a tick already. Moose
is
finding
still-
boxes. And Fang finding Psyche, the Santa Cruz backline is already gone. Gloomy coming back from spawn now. Got a little Genji on the side room. Xenia coming in, making it a 2v1.
Now Zebra versus UCSD's 2 DPSs, but they just
What are you gonna
overwhelm
do?
him.
It's a Venture Genji against the Doomfist. There's not much you can. Reaps does overextend a bit and falls, but
UCSD should still be able to get this point.
Santa Cruz will have a very time having a meaningful contest here. They do get Tracer on point. And then Nevermind falling with a touch. Falling very low, no utility on point.
Zebra finding Fangblade here. This is looking pretty winnable. Zebra finding both UCSD supports. Moose trading out San Daviston.
San Diego lacking a bit of target focus here. They're getting traded out, and yeah, it's just Reaps left standing.
Just barely unable to capture the first point. 98%.
Great recontest there. You know, they had first Tracer, then Genji, then Doom.
Yeah, using optimally, taking as much time as they need to just barely contest.
Well, things looking fairly similar on both sides. You know, that Ventral is something to watch out for, though, because if the supports are playing on low ground, it can find a lot of value.
Yeah, we'll see what UCSD can do
Early
with their
blade
rally.
from Reaps. Counter rally out from Foxes actually fends off the blade. Zebra can then trade out Gloomy. I think it's going to be an early fight secured.
Yeah,
for
without
Santa
their
Cruz.
support ults, UCSD can't really do much to counter.
Zebra finding Fangblade and just staggers coming in for Santa Cruz. Xenia pops a Ventral, which is very odd. Somehow they're able to find San Daviston. And Nevermind stuck in the backline. He does get out with his deflect.
Yeah, no, but UCSD is able to sort of stabilize here while UCSD re-engages. We're going to see every support ult here along with a Rampage.
A very not great angle, but Moosh made it into something with that Rampage. He's able to hit two. Seemingly very split comp. Reaps does overextend, is killed, but it's too late for Santa Cruz to touch.
UCSD just throw everything in the kitchen sink to secure that point. And now they have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to escort the payload to almost capture the second checkpoint here. This could be game for UCSD.
Yeah, all Zebra, I mean, it's kind of all on Zebra here to make a play. He's got a lot more freedom with his ultimate up to really get aggressive, but it's a very hard backline to really make a play against Brig Juno.
Yeah, without any major ults coming up really that soon here, this fight's going to be completely off individual plays, and San Daviston goes down.
It's just easy cleanup for San Diego. Zebra does find Zinnia with the Meteor Strike, but it's too late.
He's going to want to end this fight and reset as soon as possible, because the longer he takes, the more distance the card is going to get.
San Diego's chasing aggressively. They're still not able to find it, though.
We're
Only
going
one
to see.
on cart, though. Santa Cruz will have another touch for sure with the rally online, hopefully.
Getting extremely close. This may just be last fight territory here for UCSD. No big ults coming up online, but UCSD are going to have Blade, are going to have Pulse Bomb.
If Reaps can find a pulse bomb here, that's game. And he finds a great stick on the Foxes.
Blade comes out in kind. Let's see what we can find.
Mine does find Zinnia. Reaps, though, trading out Psyche as well.
Pretty even trades. Pulse Bomb goes down. Moosh goes down. That's pretty huge while Zebra stays alive.
And Reaps is just everywhere. San Daviston cannot find him.
So much damage coming out from Reaps, and Zebra just unable to stay alive.
Reaps just doing so much there, finding nearly every kill, if not all of them, that fight.
He's just able to use superb movement. Reaps there was just so able to annoy and do so much damage without getting damage back here. There was just so much he was able to do just on his own, individual playing.
Yeah, such a dominant performance. Well, let's play the game from San Daviston here. A great stick with the help of Zebra.
Yeah, this is where UCSC shined. This is in their extreme dive composition when they had so much space, they were just able to keep snowballing. But when Zebra was shut down, when their backline was shut down, they just couldn't adapt.
Yeah, once Santa Cruz was put on the back foot, they just really couldn't recover.
Yeah. So that's going to be, it is going to be a 3-0 there, but it was definitely a lot closer than one might have thought.
Yeah, definitely on that last map, Santa Cruz had a very good shot. Yeah, only 3-0s today. We've seen a lot of very strong performances. And, you know, I think common theme has been the teams that can adapt very well, change things up, and leave their opponent on the back foot have done, you know, very, very well.
Yeah, they were just able to, teams that were able to adapt were just able to snowball so much momentum into the next game, into the next map. And I personally thought this game would be a lot closer, being the 2 seed and the 3 seed, San Diego actually being the lower seed here, but they were just able to so effectively adapt to Santa Cruz's sort of not one-dimensional play style, but Doomfist heavy play style.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and with that match, San Diego has won their 2 matches, secured their ticket to the UCEI LAN.
And that is our first team going to LAN here. Thank you guys so much for watching our 3 games today. UCEI, University of California Esports Initiative, presented by Xfinity. We're going to see you tomorrow for the lower bracket matches. We're going to see who else is going to LAN for Overwatch.
Love to game? With Xfinity, you can upgrade your speed to keep slaying zombies like it's your day job.
It is my day job!
Upgrade your internet speed for the ultimate gaming experience. Bring on the good stuff.
Our new Xfinity gateways can support hundreds of devices.
Up your internet game. Am I right?
I'm over here.
Am I close?
Get a strong connection to power hundreds of devices with ultra-low lag.
Marco?
Bring on the good stuff.